Welcome everyone to the Given Five Showcase. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil. Starting off the divisional round in the NFL, we've got the Houston Texans visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. And Basil, you talk about David versus Goliath a lot in sports, but this certainly feels like a matchup where it's definitely applicable, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's one way to put it. I mean, we go through the history of both of these teams. Of course, you have Patrick Mahomes, one of them, and the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the more unkillable forces in the NFL today. But on the opposite side, CJ Stroud, a team that has a lot to prove, but nothing to lose. I think that's a fair way to put it. Remember, last year, they went to Baltimore, like got absolutely battered by the Ravens. They didn't take enough risks. And that's what CJ Stroud said in the media a couple days ago. They need to take more risks. And that's something I think we'll see throughout this game. They have the weapons with Nico Collins and company. They have the pieces to possibly cause an upset. But remember, they're 0-5 in their history in road playoff games in the divisional round. They've never won a divisional round playoff game on the road before. So this is a true test for Houston to go up against Kansas City, which, Chase, they're really good defensively, but like last year, they don't have the extremely talented weapons that you would think would be for a team that's 15-2. It's a very weird squad, Kansas City, this year. Defensively, they've looked rock solid, but they lost. Remember, they lost Rasheed Rice. Their leading receiver now is what, DeAndre Hopkins and Xavier Worthy, and that's a team that's 15-2. It's something that you wouldn't really expect. So a lot to watch out for in this game. I'm really excited to get to talk everyone through it with you tonight.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, they've just gotten healthier and healthier. They sat out their starters in week 18 against the Broncos. And of course, as the number one seed, had the bye. So, while rust could be in consideration, there also is a lot to do with the health of Travis Kelsey and Chris Jones, just making sure every piece of the offense as healthy as possible. Team in general is as healthy as possible, especially when going up against a Texans team that showed us that they're not just some easy team that just kind of slid in from a weak division, especially after having a matchup that monumental in beating the Chargers in the wild card round.
I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, Kansas City, remember, Travis Kelsey has not really played a full football game since Christmas. That's about 3 weeks ago or so. So we heard it during the ESPN pregame. Like for the young guys, that type of rest could really cause some problems. But for the older and more experienced players, that could really be a strength. And we've seen that in the remember, we did the college football playoff together, a couple of games. And the teams that had the bye struggled more because they had more rest. Now it's into the pro realm, obviously, and I think that's more of a strength rather than a weakness. Remember, the Chiefs, they went 15-2, they won their division like forever ago, it felt like, even though it was like in the last couple of weeks of the season. You mentioned it, they rest everyone against the Broncos. They lose 38 to nothing. So I don't know what the morale is going to be like with them. I think it's a weird question to ask, but these two have squared off already. If you remember back in week 16, the game that unfortunately was more infamous for Tank Dell breaking his leg, unfortunately. But there were still some positives from both teams throughout the contest that I think we could see something like that offensively and defensively throughout this game. So you're going to see, I think, a very defensive game from both teams. Of course, you probably favor the Chiefs in this type of a matchup with the experience and everything. But I think CJ Stroud, for what he's done, if you remember the first playoff run, they destroy their first round opponent and then struggle early and then fade away in the second half of their divisional game. I think we could see something very similar, but he's learned, he's gained more experience. I think that's something that could really help him tonight.
Has definitely had some ebbs and flows in this second season as a pro, as the Texans have had entirely. And as we've said time and time again, the Kansas City Chiefs are just an absolutely different kind of machine when it comes to the playoffs. But as kickoff is just a few minutes away, we will be right back for you. Give them five. Chase Carini and Robbie Basil bringing you through the Chiefs and the Texans. Welcome you guys back to this divisional round. Give 'em five showcase. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil here for Texans and Chiefs. Before we get this game started, just want to say a quick subscribe, like, if you're in the chat, say, any early predictions on this game, any early predictions later in this divisional round. I know we got some big matches, including tonight against the Lions Commanders, and then tomorrow, Eagles and Rams. And of course, the main event that I know I'll be thinking about a lot, as well as many football fans, in Bills Ravens. It's going to be a big weekend. And starting off here, couldn't want it any other way. Getting ready just a few minutes away from the beginning of Chiefs Texans.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a very exciting weekend. You said it perfectly. You're gonna be stressing like crazy. For me, of course, we'll be having all of the divisional round games and likely both conference championship games right here on Give 'em Five. So, like Chase said, make sure to like and subscribe. Hopefully, there will be shows throughout next week talking as you guys through. I know my shows, both of them, will be up on Tuesday and Friday, so you guys will get the full playoff preview and recaps from me. Hopefully, I'll have some guests coming up on Friday to help talk you guys through the couple remaining intriguing contests left in the NFL playoffs. Of course, we have the game later tonight. Matthew Welling will take us through the first ever Welling watch along stream tonight. So that'll be kicking off at around 7:50. And then tomorrow we have Ben Gans making his return along with a debutante with Charlie Hitt. They'll be calling Eagles and Rams, and then I'm back again because you guys can't get enough of me. Apparently, the comments don't like that, but we will
Hmm.
listen to the comments eventually. But now is not the time, they say. So you'll see me tomorrow night with Jacob Kaplan, calling Bills Ravens, and then on Monday, special Monday stream, it's the College Football Playoff National Championship with Dylan Shalom and myself right here on Given Five. So make sure to turn on those post notifications and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the crazy streams this weekend. And Chase, I think we're almost ready to go. I mean, first game of the divisional round, the best 8 teams remaining, and I think I don't know. This game is gonna be really fun. That's all I know. And we have two great teams, two great quarterbacks, one with something to prove, and one trying to continue his legacy. Because the Chiefs, if you remember, trying to be the first ever three-peat in Super Bowl history.
Absolutely. And, when it comes to not just this game, but this weekend and the national championship on Monday, I think spoiled is a good way to phrase us sports fans in terms of watching these games. And like you said, with this game specifically, of course, the Houston Texans just trying to make a name for themselves, really get some success going. But if got the Kansas City Chiefs always lurking, even with a bye, even with sitting their starters on week 18, you just can't deny some of the Mahomes magic and just the essence of playoff ability that the Kansas City Chiefs has. As we still wait the kickoff coming on to this matchup, of course, Andy Reid, the head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, coached head coach of the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans, during Ryans' stint with the Eagles. Of course, relationships there just in this league it really comes down to the legacy of how these players can come up in every little connection. But we've seen what Ryans has been able to do in his first couple of years as the head coach of the Houston Texans, and it's been pretty good so far. And a win here would be absolutely massive.
Definitely. And D'Amico Ryan's the fifth head coach in NFL history to win a playoff game in each of his first 2 seasons. He's going to a much more hostile environment than when he went into last year at Baltimore. I mean, if they find a way to win this game, if it's going to have to feel like the parting of the Red Sea if you're if you're fans of the Houston Texans. I mean, it's freezing. The Texans have never won a playoff game below freezing before. So Chase, I think it's time for you to talk us
Absolutely.
through it.
We get a kickoff here and moving it past midfield, moving all the way down to around the 30. What a start for the Kansas City Chiefs. However, there is movement at the bottom of the pile as being taken down. Nico Remigio, the one on the return. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. As the ball will stay with Kansas City. And as I said, what a way to start for this team.
Holy
As
yips. That's not the start you were thinking. If you wanted chaos off the jump, that's your answer. I mean, I think it was Samaje Perine who took the kickback. Let's take a look at this one more time. It's actually I think Perine recovered the fumble. Good strip there
Correct.
by the Texans defender, and good reaction there by Perine, the former, I believe, Cincinnati Bengal and Oklahoma Sooner, went out there and keeping the Chiefs with possession.
Great job, and is on top of that, and sportsmanlike conduct goes against the Texans at the end of the play.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that adjusts, but also just again, like you said, with this hostile environment and something we didn't take into consideration, the weather, 22 degrees, feeling like 8 in Arrowhead. Definitely not the most comforting conditions, especially for a team that's mainly in Houston. But nevertheless, the Chiefs get here to start deep in Texans territory, and it's a handoff to Isaiah Pacheco. Take it down quickly. Anderson in on the tackle. It'll be second down.
Yeah, but this run with Pacheco, they just go inside zone, trying to get the ball starting to move. Unfortunately, Will Anderson was there to get a tackle for a loss, but Patrick Mahomes, 6-0 record in his career in the divisional round, 16 total touchdowns, 0 career turnovers in the divisional round.
Absolutely one of those divisional round wins being against the Houston Texans just a handful of years ago as Mahomes again back behind center with a short throw to Pacheco, bobbled it and gets blown up. Bryant there on the tackle. Miles Bryant makes it incomplete, and it's quickly 3rd and 11.
Good hit there by Bryant. Pacheco going into the flat, trying to go out there and make a play. But now this is where Houston needs to get Kansas City time and time again. It's those third down situations. Pacheco, who of course bobbled in and gets absolutely rocked. But this could be a very big stand early for Houston.
Chiefs quite efficient in not as efficient in the red zone this season as Mahomes lofts one up in the corner and incomplete. Again, Bryant on the coverage. I believe he's looking for Hollywood Brown. And that will cause, after a big kickoff return, a 3 and out with only little under a minute through this first quarter.
D'Amico Ryan showing that energy that he's ecstatic right now after the start with this defense. Houston, of course, allowing that big kickoff return, but able to likely force three. I think they
32
might have a
yarder here for Harrison Butker. Hold is good, kick is up, and it is drilled. And so, after the big return for the Kansas City Chiefs and almost fumble, it results in a field goal. Kansas City up 3-0 after the first offensive drive.
yeah, a little disappointing, but I think it's disappointing for Kansas City. The Texans look ecstatic. It's only 3-0. We're just getting started here on Given 5 Media's coverage of the 2025 NFL playoffs. Stay with us.
Welcome you guys back to the Game 5 showcase of our first divisional round playoff matchup in the NFL. Houston Texans gonna have to respond to what was a big start for the Kansas City Chiefs, but stymied a little bit and only ending up in a field goal, only down 3-0. Absolutely looking to have any better way to shake off, allowing that field goal to be Butker on the kickoff for Kansas City. The Houston's first offensive drive of the day. So that one takes a hop into the end zone and down for a touchback. As we will see the second year man, CJ Stroud, see how he responds after their big wild card win against the Los Angeles Chargers.
There's a lot to like with CJ Stroud, the number 7 for the Houston Texans. I mean, he's had what some would call a little bit of a sophomore slump, but has been able to respond in these big playoff games. We're going to go back a little bit. I think we're going to look at the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from earlier. Oh, they threw the helmet off. There it is. That is a 15-yard penalty. So that explains why the coach got upset, and then he shoved the coach. That's not the start I thought we were going to get today, but it's this in these big time moments. If you're Houston, got to keep your head in the game here. You cannot have these mental errors.
Very, very interesting opening up as we see a handoff to start this one out. It is to Joe Mixon, who was heavily questionable leading up to this matchup, but ends up in the lineup for the Texans, and he'll get gain of 5 there for 2nd and 5.
You're going to see a lot of runs with Joe Mixon. He's one of the big time weapons on this Houston offense. But we look at CJ Stroud's playoff career numbers: 2-1 record, 4 career touchdowns. That's the one thing I'm going to look out for. How involved will CJ Stroud be in this offense? He needs to go out there and explode if they want to have any form of a chance. But 57 points of opening drives, that's second most in the league. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Absolutely. As a little quick check down there again, it's to Mixon, and they'll get the first down there. Back to back plays to the running back, as slowly but surely starting this one out and get an early first down.
Take a look at this offense under Bobby Slowick, 19th in points per game. They had a couple of injuries with Joe Mixon and Robert Woods, both of them playing today. And what else can you say about Nico Collins, who exploded in that game against the Los Angeles Chargers? 122
Play
yards.
action, and they're going deep. Dalton Schultz making the connection past the 40, looking for a flag after the tackle, but a big play by the Houston Texans on first down as they continue to roll.
Good route there. Just a deep crosser. Dalton Schultz able to go out there, get a big chunk. Those are the types of plays Houston needs. Those big, long chunk plays. Not really sure what the penalty would be with Schultz, but Stroud able to go through his reads, able to make that pass. Good ball, first down.
Collins in motion as it'll be a handoff again to Mixon. Moves forward past the 30 as they're in Kansas City territory. And we'll have about second and medium.
Still inside zone with Mixon. Will find his way moving forward. But on first down, so far, the Texans have looked really solid. But for Steve Spagnuolo, one of the best defenses in the league, they're going to have to shut down this Texans offense and early if they want to contain CJ Stroud.
Absolutely. And they've done so to many offenses, but have also had a fair share of close games. As again, we look handoff here from Stroud. Only going to get a couple. There is the backup running back, Damian Pierce, gets a handoff on that one, and it will be third and short.
That's what you like about this Houston Texans offense. They have multiple 1,000-yard caliber running backs with Damian Pierce, who has had 1,000-yard season, and of course you had Joe Mixon. We'll take a look at this recent play with Joe Mixon. He might have gotten a big hit there from earlier, but now it's up to third and short.
That it is. Solo injury there to Trent McDuffie, who's on the sideline. As Stroud quickly throws over the middle and gets the connection to his number one guy, Nico Collins. And just a few minutes into the drive, the Texans are into the Kansas City red zone.
Good ball from Stroud. Good route there from Nico Collins, a guy who's been red hot for most of this season, and one of the biggest probably shining light on this Texans offense. Good route, good deep in route over the middle, able to find a hole in the zone and go out there and get that first down.
Absolutely one of the best young receivers in the game. As we see a handoff again, it's to Mixon. He will get about one there as tackled early on. And we said with Nico Collins and the great work that he's done, he's had a lot more on his shoulders this season as beginning of the year thinking about Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs and having a big time unit at the receiving core. But now it's just him, and he's still been able to produce. It just shows what kind of player he is, even at such a young age.
An explosive playmaker. He can go out there and get a good. He's great in the deep ball area as well. But with how many, like you said, how many weapons this Texans team could have had, and he's still able to shine bright. It's exceptional what he's done so far with the Texans in the last couple of seasons.
Absolutely. Quick throw there, going to Collins, but batted away. It'll be 3rd and 9. Good job there by Trent McDuffie. He's come back into the game, and as we've seen, has been an absolute lockdown corner at times. The young defensive back for Kansas City gets the job done there to cause a 3rd and long.
Good breakout there from McDuffie. It was just an out route and both hands in there, just swatting it away. Good positioning, good footwork though from McDuffie. It's one of the things you like. He's a very technical corner. Good job in the man coverage mainly. So you'll see him with Nico Collins probably throughout this contest.
Stroud back to pass. Now rolling out to his right, pressured, trying to move forward to the sticks. He is not going to get there. Running him down, number 56, Karloftis, causing the 4th down as Stroud, a little bit of limping there, as I presume we will see the field goal unit to come out and try to tie this matchup early.
Good pressure there by Carl Loftus. It's one thing that you love about a guy like him is his speed off the edge and how quick he is. But they were trying to go to Nico Collins again with a double move. He got and he wouldn't want to throw in the double coverage. You'd Hutchinson, I think, was going for a deep out in the end zone. So they had those opportunities to go out there and get a good chance, but now on to take the field goal will be Kaimi Fairbairn.
Kick is up and good by Fairbairn on the 30-yarder. And so the Texans, some good movement early on that offensive drive. However, only able to put up 3, tying this matchup 3 apiece. Kansas City to get the ball back when we come back. We welcome you guys back to the Given 5 Showcase. In the first divisional matchup in the NFL, it is Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil taking you through the Texans and the Chiefs in what has already been an offensively produced game with two field goals apiece. Both teams showing flashes offensively, but then not being able to get into the end zone. Definitely, it'll be P. Ryan to take it this time for the Chiefs. Not nearly as explosive on that one, gets about to the 30. And so Patrick Mahomes and this Kansas City offense will actually have to move down the field a little bit further and not just rely on a penalty and kickoff return.
Muted. Like I said, offense struggled to move the ball in the opening drive. They've I feel like they had -1 yards on that opening drive. So this is a chance now for Mahomes and company to go out there, start to try and move the ball a little bit because they're going to need to against this Texans defense.
It's a handoff to Isaiah Pacheco. He's able to get the pile moved forward. Gain of about 6 there, I believe. And it will be second down. This will run there by Isaiah Pacheco.
You're going to see that a lot. That little zone run up the middle. But D'Amico Ryans in this defense, 14th in the NFL in points per game allowed. They've had Hunter and Will Anderson cause problems all over the edge. And then what else can you say about Derek Stingley? He's been great at corner. So this defense, very good group. Should be interesting to see how they match up against this Kansas City offense.
Absolutely. They go another run to Pacheco as he is quickly swallowed up by Anderson. Maybe gets about one there. Be third and short as again, as we saw in their first drive, quickly getting to these third downs, not getting a lot of offense with power move through. First big challenge of the Chiefs today.
Yeah, and they're already 0 for 1 on third downs, but they're already doing better than their first drive. They had, like I said, -1 yards on the opening drive. But this is a moment now for Patrick Mahomes where this team's second in the NFL in third down conversions. So they're going to need to they're going to probably have a lot of these throughout this contest, but they're going to need to be able to convert and convert fast.
Mahomes looking to get the snap off, but a flag is thrown. Play called dead, I believe. Looking at a false start here with the call, and that is what it is. So unfortunately for the Kansas City Chiefs, what was already a crucial down, they go back 5 on the fault of the right tackle, Juwan Taylor.
And Jawan Taylor, I think a lot of people know about him and his false start issues at right tackle. It's been a problem for him over the last couple of seasons. Let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, good call there by the referee. So they're right there to make the play, right there to blow the whistle in time. Now this is even more crucial of a play for Mahomes and company.
Mahomes takes a big shot as he gets that one off. Incomplete in the direction of Worthy. A flag is thrown, however. We await the call here.
The issue right now, I think that was too high of a hit because it looked like Mahomes got hit in the helmet area. This could be roughing the passer.
And that it is the call on the very, very good young edge rusher, Will Anderson, has already had a big impact in this game. And just unfortunately, too much contact on Mahomes gets the call. And what could have been a big third down stop ends up being a first.
One thing you can never do as an edge rusher, come up high and hit the quarterback in the chest or head area. This is the lack of focus there from Anderson. It's got to be able to use your brain more there because that just simply cannot happen.
Had a great second season with 11 sacks and 7 in his defensive rookie year stint as we have a stoppage right here. Unsure what the reasoning is for. Anderson on the sideline for the Texans. As again, taking a look at the hit just a little too close up high. So we have play action. Mahomes lofting it up for Travis Kelsey, who gets the completion for the first connection that we've seen time and time again, especially in the playoffs, getting the job done.
It's a little streak route out of the tight end Travis Kelsey. You see that route out of him time and time and time again on crucial plays. And no one really was covering him. Tua, I think, was one of the guys who was there, number 23. Sorry, that's Drew Tranquil. My apologies. But that's something you'll see time and time again from Kansas City. You'll see that throughout this contest for sure.
Mahomes goes for a quick throw to Hopkins on a slant, bit behind him, however, and so it will be 2nd and 10. Should go a little too quick there after the big gain.
Yeah, it was a struggle there for D Hop to get off the route there. Good coverage in the secondary. The 24 of Derek Stingley Jr., one of the first team All Pro. Very difficult to get those types of plays off. But yeah,
Another
back.
little hit there from Anderson to Mahomes, and as we've said, with a dominant front of the Texans with Neil Hunter, Will Anderson, Danico Autry, just all these different pieces, Mahomes and this offensive line are gonna have a lot on their plate today. As for 2nd and 10, Mahomes with time in the pocket gets hit as he throws, and making the catch is Xavier Worthy. Oh, what a play! Adjustment by the rookie. He's able to bring his team to 1st and goal.
Well, how about that throw? And how about that catch? You said it really well. Phenomenal play there. Good adjustment there from Worthy, but the strength of Mahomes able to get that ball out. Eric Murray was the one in coverage there, but great adjustment there by the rookie wide receiver. And the Chiefs are now really moving the ball down the field. It's going to be, I believe, 1st and goal.
That it will be on the 8-yard line after that connection to Worthy. And a little bit of trickery gets it again to Worthy, but he is absolutely taken down. Will Anderson been all over it this game, and he causes a big loss for the Chiefs to make it a long 2nd and goal.
It's a loss of like 7 yards. They try to go fake handoff and a little bit of an end around. But Will Anderson, so good off the edge, reads it perfectly and is able to get a big tackle for a loss.
A little close there on the face mask, but nevertheless got him by the shoulder pad. Good job there by the second-year edge rusher. And so now 2nd and goal will be at around the 12-yard, or not 12-yard line, 17-yard line. My mistake is Mahomes trying to move around, and he is swamped down once again. Tried to move around, get away from it. Al Shair in on the tackle. And as I said, these defensive line has just have been an absolute problem early for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Aziz Al Shahir, one of the linebackers, actually. The defensive front, they have so many weapons, but the linebacking core as well. Able to go up the middle was Al Shahir. Mahomes trying to escape the pocket, but it's able to collapse. And Al Shahir, one of the guys right in there to make the stop and force a crucial third down.
So now 3rd and goal is on the 18-yard line. Mahomes set back to pass, hit as he throws, able to get it off in time to Pirine. But again, another hit by this Texans defense and another cause of 4th down in the red zone.
You said it. Stop of on third down in the red zone. That's now two opportunities that Kansas City have had, and it's likely going to only result in 6 points. Autry there was the one that caused the pressure at that left defensive tackle spot. Got Mahomes by the cleat. With a shoestring tackle attempt there. He's able to help force the 4th down.
36-yard attempt by Butker is up and good. So Kansas City able to retake the lead. But again, it's been a game of field goals. Only going up 6-3. We'll see how the Texans can respond and see how CJ Stroud potentially do as we come back to this divisional matchup. Welcome you guys back to the Give 'em 5 showcase for this divisional matchup between the Houston Texans and Kansas City Chiefs. And it's been pretty interesting so far. Kansas City leading, as many may have presumed, but only by 3 points, only settled for 2 field goals. It's really interesting how good this Texans defense has been early on.
That's a perfect way to put it. I mean, it's for the Texans' sake. They've allowed 2 drives into the red zone from Kansas City and have only allowed 2 field goals. So if you're a fan of the Texans, you're ecstatic on how your defense has played so far because you would have expected Kansas City plus red zone equals touchdown. Usually that mathematical equation that everyone tries to come up with. But so far, it's only been 2 field goals. So good work there by the Texans defense so far. Now, as kickoff is just a couple of seconds, they will try and find a way to get another response after a solid first drive on offense if you're from the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud.
And CJ Stroud is the biggest question when it comes to the Texans right now. Had a little bit of an injury on their first offensive drive as we see Butker's kick just going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. And it will be Stroud to come out into the huddle for the Texans. We will see what they'll do after saw a little bit of limping after the tackle by Karlaftis.
I think you're going to start to see a little bit more pressure from Steve Spagnuolo in this defense because you have to imagine Stroud's mobility is limited. And of course, he got hurt. Got a little bit of an injury, picked up a little bit of a knock from Carl Loftus on that tackle from the last series. So interesting to see how he responds. We'll see how he does on first down.
Absolutely. When it comes to this team's defensive line, they can definitely bring pressure. However, with play action, Stroud is going to air it out, but incomplete. Going for, I believe, Xavier Hutchinson. Incomplete on the coverage by McDuffie. Goes second down.
Yeah, not a bad ball there from Stroud, but McDuffie and his speed able to come out there and make a good breakup. Stroud actually took a bigger hit than I thought he did, but McDuffie's such a good tracker of the football, able to get a good breakup there and force second down.
Already his second of the day. Premier young defensive back as they go handoff to Mixon, who got out with a head of steam, but taken down by Cook after about a gain of 8, I believe, and it'll be third down and short.
Yeah, good run there from Joe Mixon, able to almost get into the second level. That's what the type of play you need against this Chiefs defense because if you have third and longer, you're typically screwed. So far for Bobby Slowick in this offense, they've gotten into a lot of third and manageables, and that's what you need to see from them time and time again. Now third and very short. Interested to see what they do. They got a Gunbowale in the backfield now, so that might be giving it to him here.
Quick to throw is Stroud, and he gets a completion near midfield. Gets a little bit more is Nico Collins. Gets the job done, goes to his premier guy. As again, we said, just big time player making a big time play, especially in the same stadium where they lost one of their other big time contributors in the receiving corps in Tank Dell.
Well, I was thinking of Gunbowale, and I think the Chiefs were kind of expecting that too. But they're able to find Nico Collins again over the middle. See that gruesome play with Tank Dell from a couple of weeks ago. But the Texans since then have been able to respond well on offense. They're going to need to keep doing that if they want to have a chance so far in this game. They've looked all right, but they need to continue that momentum.
Mixon back in the game, gets the handoff for about 2. And as we said, just what's been absolutely a lot to deal with for the Texans, dealing with injuries to Nico Collins early in the season, though he came back after week 10. And again, the ACL injuries to Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, massive proponents of what has
Definitely.
been an interesting season.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it. Three great weapons, three guys who could have been a wide receiver one on this team. Now two of them are gone. So I think someone might have just gone to the injury tent for the Chiefs. We'll see who that will be in a moment. By the way, nice tackle there, closing down by Drew Tranquil from that last play.
Quick throw by Stroud off the hands of Hutchinson. I believe that ball just a little bit off target. Tried to adjust there is the wide receiver, Hutchinson, but luckily that one didn't pop up any closer to a Chiefs defender. Just goes down for an incompletion.
Now this is where it gets a little bit worrying because remember from the last drive, not the worst ball there from Stroud. Hutchinson, of course, in that more like slot position. Well, it's just in and out of hands. He's trying to make a slide there, but this is where you don't want to be if you're the Houston Texans, having a third and much longer than you would want.
Pressured and taken down. Chris Jones able to get home, wrapping around the quarterback. And that will cause fourth down. Not what you want to see if you're Houston after what looked to start as a good offensive drive.
Yeah, Chris Jones starting there off the edge this time. Usually the nose tackle up the middle, but starting on the edge, just gets right past the right tackle. Way too easy from Chris Jones, able to help force that fourth down. Good stop there by the Chiefs defense.
Like you said, for the multiple time All Pro, it's just a bit too easy when it comes to you like that. It causes a long 4th and 20. It'll be the former Chief punter Tommy Townsend gets it off cleanly as bobbled for a moment, but it is picked up and taken out near the 20 is Remigio. Not contact there on the outside is we'll stay with you for this one with just a little under a minute left to go in the first quarter. We'll see how the Chiefs can respond. Already with a lead. See how the defense gets going.
Now this is where the sequences get a little bit more interesting because the Chiefs have been stopped in the red zone twice. The Texans had a chance, but they just got that unfortunate sack, I guess, a couple minutes ago. That was well, I think one of the Chiefs players ran into the kicking net. I think we both saw that one right there. But once again, shout out to everyone watching the stream today. Make sure you're writing it up in the chat. If you want to, of course, make sure to try and hit like and subscribe. And make sure later on tonight to tune into the Wellings Watch Along debut with the Lions and the Commanders with our boy Matthew Welling. Should be fun. Very intriguing, of course. That game, I'll let you talk about that game a little bit here because usually you're the one doing play by play, not doing the breakdowns. What are you most excited for in that game tonight with the Lions and the Commanders?
Boy, it comes down to I know we're looking at a matchup right now that is a number one seed against another opponent that has had a wishy-washy kind of season. And that's kind of what we see with the Detroit Lions versus the Commanders. The Lions, this top tier team, or at least looked like it on paper, but have really been hampered by injuries and have had to rely on guys. And as we called that last game of the regular season with them versus the Vikings, we saw just how much the coordinators of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn mean to the team, that they're able to take guys whether they're injured or, kind of backups, and elevate them to absolutely dominate what was a very strong team in the Minnesota Vikings, despite what their Monday night playoff matchup might make people believe. But nevertheless, the Lions are an incredibly strong team that I believe should definitely be the favorite against the Commanders. But as we've seen just last week in the wild card and throughout the season, Jaden Daniels and this Commanders team is nothing you can in any way doubt when it comes down to the wire.
You can never underestimate them. I think it's like the perfect way to word it because you if I remember a couple weeks ago, I feel now it's like a couple months ago. Remember that moment with Chicago, that Hail Mary on the last play? People underestimated them going up against Caleb Williams and they're able to rise to the occasion. People underestimated them last week and they're able to rise in an upset against Baker Mayfield and the experienced Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's a big moment for sure for Jaden Daniels. It'll be fun to talk about as we go on with this contest, but we'll send it back to you as Chiefs will have it on first down with likely about only one or two more plays in the first quarter.
Absolutely. As Mahomes goes quick to it over the middle for Kelsey, but has it broken up. Good job there by the Texans. And try to go to his go to guy, just not aligned. Call a second down.
Nice hand in there by Miles Bryant, the safety. Started more in like a linebacker position, but was able to go out there and get the breakup. Looking at one of the plays familiar with Cook. It was Cook number 6 for Kansas City that I believe got an injury. He's walking into the tunnel now. Brian Cook, the second round pick in the 2022 draft, one of the better safeties on this KC roster.
Mahomes goes quick check down there, evading pressure and taken down is Noah Gray. Makes a catch for a couple, as we will likely see clock tick down to the end of the first quarter. It'll be 3rd and 7 As again, as we said, these third downs are all the more crucial in the playoffs, but also when you're going up against two great defensive fronts like the Texans and the Chiefs.
Can't underestimate that comment at all. I mean, you're 100% right. These defensive fronts so far have caused so many issues, and that will, I believe, indeed will take us to the end of the first quarter. A quarter dominated by the defensive fronts is the way to word it. Kansas City and Houston, 6-3 at the end of one. You're watching the Give 'em 5 media's coverage of the 2024 NFL playoffs. We'll be right back.
Welcome you guys back. Give 'em 5 showcase of this divisional round, starting with the Texans and the Chiefs. I know we spoke a little bit about the Lions and the Commanders earlier, but as a weekend as a whole, this is a massive divisional round, and tomorrow it's got two pretty big matchups with the Rams and the Eagles and the Bills and the Ravens.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll see all of our coverage right here on Give 'em 5 Media. You have the game tonight, obviously, and Gans and Hit calling the Rams Eagles a very interesting contest out there. And what else can you say about Ravens and Bills? We'll talk about those games later on during halftime, but now we go back to us. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes, 3 of 8 for 47 yards. Just thought that someone has to bring that up because he's not been off to the hottest start.
Mahomes doing a little bit of maneuvering and just exactly what he's made of himself, being able to get out of jams on 3rd and 7, just takes a scramble up for the first and more, just continuing to do what Mahomes always does.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you have to do against Patrick Mahomes is put in a QB spot, one of the linebackers sitting in the middle, just reading where Mahomes is. Usually that's Neville Hewitt on this Texans defense, or they have somebody else, or Al Shair, but just no one in the middle, no one able to read Mahomes. Linebackers drop too much. Mahomes able to take advantage, gets the first down.
A lot of motion by Worthy, and it gets to Worthy on the screen. Speedster out of Texas, gonna get the first and a little bit more. As we see just the start of this second quarter, the Chiefs moving with a little bit more fire than we've seen early.
It feels like there's something different. They've like flipped the light switch or something like that, like something I should be doing in my room right now. Turn on the lights, and it just flicks into a different mode or motive. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say is, but were they able to use his explosiveness, and able to get out there and break a couple tackles and get that first down?
So great job by Stingley, little peanut punch, got the ball out, but were they able to immediately collect it back? As now on first down is a handoff to who's on the running back, Kareem Hunt gets about 4 there.
Another just easy zone run for Hunt, trying to get could not get past the initial tackler of Tua Tua. But you look at Xavier Worthy, Remember, everyone knows him for that 4.21 40-yard dash. 28th overall pick. Remember, the Chiefs traded up to get him with the
Oh, yeah.
Bills.
I know they
Yeah,
traded up again.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know about that. But it's the first wide receiver drafted by the Chiefs in the first round in 13 years. Just something that everyone needs to know because he's going to be making an impact for sure for this Chiefs offense.
Mahomes pressure early just gets the check down off to Hunt, who's going to get a couple. Makes it 3rd and 4. Again, another third down this Chiefs team has to get to. But as we said, with weapons like Worthy, and of course, as we've seen time and time again, Travis Kelsey, these third downs are just a little bit tougher on defenses when it comes to the Chiefs.
Definitely. And you talk about weapons that you wouldn't really expect to succeed, like the Chiefs offense led by Mahomes. They don't have a real number one receiver and they won 15 games. You have players like Kelsey, some other guys in this offense. This is where the Texas defense steps up. Watch over the middle of the field. That's where I think the ball will go next.
Mahomes taken down. Anderson in on that. Mahomes, I believe, had a qualm to the ref or two, but Anderson able to get home on an odd looking play. It'll be 4th down, just like that.
It looked like a similar play when CJ Stroud got sacked a couple minutes ago to end their drive. But let's take a look at this play. Coming off the edge is Will Anderson on that right end spot. Yep, there's the route I was talking about over the middle, the deep in route to Xavier Worthy right at the line to gain. They first read was Worthy. They try to go to the flat. Will Anderson right there to get the stop and force Chiefs into 4th down.
Like you said, another good stop for the Texans. They have Matt Ariza, the punter for Kansas City, get it done as that ball rolling, and good job by Woods to stop Kansas City from getting that one down to the 1. And great job again. Old Bobby Trees getting it done in the return game, doing just enough as it'll be a touchback for the Texans. They're down 6-3. We come back. We'll get back into this divisional round between the Chiefs and the Texans. Texans starting off offensively here. It's a handoff to Joe Mixon. And he'll get the first on a run to the left, as we saw a lot of questions with Mixon's availability in this matchup, but nevertheless getting the job done for the first.
Big run there by Mixon to that left-hand side. They looked like it was just gonna be a dive up the middle, but a good one move there by Mixon to get to the edge, get to the outside. 6 rushes for 32 yards already for Mixon. He's off to a very solid start in this contest.
Of course, in his first year with the Texans, a long time Cincinnati Bengal, but we've seen success with him implemented into this unit and going to need more of it against this Chiefs team as they will again go to the handoff, but this time wrapped up well by this Kansas City defensive line in on the tackle, Leo Chenal.
Good tackle there by Chanel. A little bit of what I like to call halfback misdirection, or halfback counter rather. Starting to go left and then cut it back to the right, but Leo Chanel reads it well and is forcing Mixon to only get back to the line of scrimmage.
So second and 10, a little over 10 minutes to go in the second. As Stroud back to pass with time, sends it to the left side, incomplete. Looking for recently brought up Jared Wayne, unable to connect there. It'll be third down.
Not a bad ball there from Stroud. Wayne may have just tripped up himself a little bit. Not bad coverage there as well. Wayne trying to run a little bit of what we like to call a corner route for the most part. Just slipping up and not able to find the ball, make a play.
Wayne elevated to the main roster after the waiving of Deontay Johnson. As now on third and 10, we see a QB run. CJ Stroud moving, getting big hits on guys in the second level. Not something you see usually out of the second end, but that's a big first down and morale boost if you're the Houston Texans.
Remember what a couple minutes ago when we said Stroud might have gotten a knock and he might not be able to move as well? Yeah, we might have lied about that. So big run there from Stroud. It's a design QB run, gets to the right side, goes one read, and just has a parting of the Red Sea, and Stroud able to lower the shoulder, draw the big hit, and get the first down. Well done from Stroud.
Great job there. As now they go for a handoff to Mixon once again, quickly getting wrapped up by Derek Nottie, but still getting some positive yards as, again, what we've seen out of CJ Stroud, not just in his rookie year, but even now as he's elevated through what has been his questionable sophomore slump. He's definitely just gotten better and better as time's going on here in the second year.
Definitely. I mean, what's different is this season he's had a better record, but everything else is down. I mean, you remember last season that insane touchdown to interception ratio, youngest in NFL history to lead that category. I mean, he is what, 19 regular season wins? Like that's ridiculous. He's also the sixth quarterback to win playoff games in each of his first 2 seasons, so he knows how to get done these big games so far for Houston.
A little run there to mix into the right side, gets tripped up, maybe gets about one, be third and 5. In on the tackle is former Texan Charles Omenihu. Again, it'll be third down for what has been very, very interesting first part of this game between the Texans and the Chiefs. They both had their fair shares of third downs. And again, that man Chris Jones going to be a big part no matter what time and play. As pressured is Stroud, and he is taken down. It is Omenihu with the sack in on that last play and causes fourth down here with the sack on Stroud.
Take a look at this play again, and Omenihu just not getting touched at all. Stroud not really having a chance to get rid of the ball. That's going to likely take the Texans out of field goal range, and they're going to be forced to punt here, I believe, Chase. But Omenihu just going untouched. They go double team, I believe, on the right side. Oh, no, it's on the left side, rather. He actually fumbled that as well, and Shaq Mason was able to recover that.
Great job by
Very
Mason. They
weird
will
play.
go for a kick, 55-yarder, and it is no good. I believe a hand got on it. It goes way off to the right. And so the Texans, yardage lost, makes it a longer field goal, and it goes offline, missed by Fairbairn. Keeps the Chiefs in the lead, up 6-3. Welcome you guys back to the Game 5 showcase of this first divisional matchup between the Chiefs and the Texans. And as we saw there, Texans with the chance to tie, but just Fairbairn going well off to the right, giving the Chiefs the ball again, and just again showing just the dominance of the defenses. Starting off, Mahomes going deep down the field and incomplete, or very questionable, as going down. Hollywood Brown, the target. And I believe the initial ruling is 2nd and 10. We see Brown did make a lot of effort making that catch. We'll see where he was down, but a great job breaking it up at the end.
It's
Very,
like a
very interesting between this one.
So here's the issue. Is Brown bobbling the ball when he's going down? I mean, the hand's in there. So I don't know. Let's look at it one more time. That's interesting, Chase. It's very close.
They will rule it incomplete. So on 2nd and 10, the connection from Mahomes to Kelsey over the middle, breaking tackles and goes all the way down to the 5. Boy, missing on one big play and making up immediately after, as it's already 1st and goal for this Chiefs team.
Well, first of all, the middle of the field, there was no one there other than Travis Kelsey. Mahomes finds him in the middle of the zone, and he just breaks off two tacklers, and he was off to the races. But Travis Kelsey, one of the better guys who could break a tackle in the open field, able to help force the Chiefs rather into a 1st and goal situation, but breaks not one, but two, but three tackles on his way to a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, they go handoff to Pacheco. He'll get about 2. As you said, just open field, making the connection and important. And that is just, perfect example of ball don't lie. Questionable on that first play, and then just getting almost right back to where they would have been on the connection with Kelsey.
Indeed, I mean Ball don't lie indeed. I mean, Xavier Worthy, who some say did not come up with that play, so that the referee on the left hand side. Now I'm interested to see what they do here. Do they go run again? Do they throw the ball? They're 0 for 2 in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns so far. So very interesting the play call here.
They do love their trickery in the end zone, or in the red zone, rather. They do go a little jet handoff to Worthy. Takes up the gut. I believe the initial call will be short, and he will be knee down, inches away from the end zone.
Yeah, just short is Xavier Worthy. But you could clearly see in that brief play there the speed of Xavier Worthy. He's going to be about, I'd say, half a yard short. I mean, from that angle, it looks much more than what it is, but they went trickery. Good cutback by Worthy, but now be third and very short. Big chance for a big stand here for the Texans defense.
Again, a lot of movement, but it's just a handoff to Hunt, who's able to walk it in. Touchdown, Kansas City. First team to get it into the end zone this divisional round and in this matchup. Just a 1 yard rushing touchdown for Kareem Hunt as they extend their lead 12-3.
Making it look easier, Mahomes in that running game. Kareem Hunt, who started with the Chiefs, then went to the Browns, and then went back to the Chiefs. But how about that drive? 5 plays, 55 yards, and just 225. The speed that this Chiefs team could take advantage of any situation on full display as now they have a chance to go up 10.
Well, and the extra point is up and good. And so Kansas City, I don't know what it's after been what's been an incredibly defensive bout. Just break off a couple of plays and go down the field, and able to get a 10-point lead here in the second quarter. Lead 13-10. 3. Welcome you guys back. Game 5. It's divisional round between the Chiefs and the Texans. And we just coming off of a drive from the Chiefs, just showing their vintage ability in the playoffs. Only a couple of plays get them up 2 scores. We'll just have to see how the Texans respond here.
It wasn't the first or second time that the Chiefs had to go out and get a ball into the end zone. It was the third time's a charm for Mahomes and company. But look at the stats so far. Nearly identical. But no, it isn't identical. Check it down below over here. Yes. The score. I mean, it's 13-3. So the issue for the Texans so far has been third down, allowing a sack. That's something that they really have to clean up. And you're hoping, if you're a fan of Houston, that they are able to clean up that mistake. That's 3 times now that they've had that same problem.
Absolutely just shows the greatness of the defensive front of the Chiefs, and also one of the big problems that we've seen that's been accounted for the sophomore slump of CJ Stroud and just the general kind of less success for the Texans this year has been that kind of those problems with the offensive line. While on the other side, the Chiefs have just only been able to get better when in on those front. Not gonna have too much, but this Texans defense has shown that they are not one to mess around with as we see play action. First play here for the Texans. Stroud just going to roll out to his right, get to the sideline, and gain a couple. Good job by Stroud to get something out of nothing there. It'll be second down.
Yeah, good play there by Stroud. Able to roll to the right, like you mentioned, gain a yard or two. That's something that you see out of the younger guys that just try to force that ball over the middle. But the maturity of CJ Stroud, one of the biggest assets to him as a player is that maturity. Not to force that ball over the middle, but look at Travis Kelsey real quick. 167 catches for just under 2,000 yards. That's top two all time, by the way. Also add that 19 touchdowns for Travis Kelsey.
Absolutely insane player, especially when it comes to the playoffs, as we see a handoff to Mixon there, get some nice yardage, and will be about a few yards short for third down. And so again, like you said earlier, on these third downs, got to be able to at least get a play off, not get it just absolutely swarmed up by the defense.
Remember the last time Texans went double teamed Chris Jones up the middle, and it allowed a free man up off the right side of the defensive front to get a sack. That's something that needs to be cleaned up. Hopefully, if you're a fan of Houston, that does you don't see that again. But I don't know. It's a very interesting defensive front. It looks like they might be bringing pressure here up the middle.
Stroud gets a quick throw over the middle, and it gets connected to Mechie. Makes the catch for the first down. Mechie's first catch of the day. Able to move the chains for the Texans.
Good route there from the former Alabama man, just a slant over the middle, keeping it simple. That's what one thing I love about this Texas offense. They makes things so simple for Stroud. He's basic concepts, basic reads. As it helps a guy like him elevate his team to the level that they deserve to be. Mechie, great route runner out of Alabama, able to help get the first down.
Mixon able to get a couple on the handoff to make it 2nd and 8. So we tick down to what will be already the 2-minute warning in this matchup. As you said before, just a little talking about the kind of coordinators, talking about Bobby Slowick, one of the offensive minds that has been a lot in kind of the head coaching carousel. I know we talked a little bit in that last matchup we did against the with the Lions and the Vikings, talking about Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. Another name that kind of gets brought in because just of what he's been able to do with this Texans team and offense specifically.
Yeah, I mean, he's helped elevate this offense to where they should be, I think is the way to do it. He's young, a very energetic guy, Bobby Slowick. And he's really been able to help elevate, like I said, elevate this Texans offense to where they should be. Right now, they're not where they should be, down 10. But as we go on, that's areas where you hopefully see them clean up is those small errors. And with how Slowick has been able to adjust in some of these big games this season, that's the main hope if you're a fan of the Texans.
Definitely, as we've reached 2-minute warning here in this matchup. Again, want to say when we reach halftime, of course, I report over the first half and what we've seen so far, as well as discussing the other games that you'll be seeing not only on throughout this weekend, but also through Given Five. In our matchup tonight with Welling taking over the Lions and the Commanders, Gantz and Hit taking on the Eagles and the Rams, and lastly, Basil doing it again, do it all for this channel, and Jacob Kaplan doing my favorite team's game, the Bills and the Ravens.
So many exciting games, so many different games as well. And don't forget, we're doing the national championship of the college football playoff. College football wraps up here on Given Five. Full coverage of the national championship with Dylan Shalom and myself. Should be a fun game as well with Ohio State and Notre Dame. The battle of two underdog stories, you could say, from throughout this season. Both teams having some form of controversy, like a controversial loss. Remember Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois, Ohio State losing to Michigan a couple of weeks ago. Both of them able to excel in the college football playoff. And weirdly enough, we brought this up before kickoff. much a team who was in the wild card, the opening round, unlike the teams in the bye, and how much better they look. So far in the NFL, we've seen this year after year after year. It's not the same at all. Like the Chiefs had their bye. Travis Kelsey and Pat Mahomes really haven't played since Christmas, and they're already slicing and dicing through the Texans defense now. That's something that it's a little bit interesting. You see the younger guys struggle and the experienced players excel, and that's what you would expect, in all honesty, from the experienced players able to go on and put out a show. But right here, next couple of minutes, very crucial for the Texans because they have a chance right now to make this a one-score game. But they need to continue to move the ball and not make those critical mistakes, not allow those sacks on third down. You brought it up earlier, but they're in a good field position on second down. Very interesting to see what the play call will be here.
Absolutely. It will be 2nd and 8 for Houston. They received the second half kickoff, but definitely would like to score here. Stroud with time, fires right side, and the catch, I believe, is made. Mechie at least celebrating it so, and that is the call they give. Good play by Mechie. Covers there by Justin Reed, another former Texan, but getting the job done and moving the chains deep into Chiefs territory.
Well, yeah, now this is one of those moments where they have to start to get moving if you're Houston. First of all, how about that play by Mechie? I mean, you remember I talked about his route running and catching ability on full display there in double coverage, able to make a play down the field. But now if you're the Texans, you have to get moving if you want to get more than just 3 points to end this first half.
They go handoff to Pierce, looking to take some more time off, get some nice little yards there after breaking the initial tackle. Going to be 2nd and 5, a little over a minute to go. And of course, you're the Texans. You want to score, but also not give the chance to the Kansas City Chiefs because the Chiefs in the playoffs, trust me, as a Bills fan, I know they can deal with any amount of time, no matter how big or how little. As now we approach about 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. Stroud back on his right, takes the snap. Stroud pressured and will be taken down at the 30. Again, getting home is this Kansas City defense. Tershawn Wharton in on the tackle, the third sack of the day for the Chiefs against Stroud. And now kind of changes the game plan if you're the Texans in this situation.
Well, one thing's for sure, we're going to see a timeout here. I was hoping you were going to point that out for me, but that will be the first charged timeout, obviously, for the Texans. But that's just Stroud not going through the reads very well. We'll take a look at down the field, looking mainly for Nico Collins over the middle. Good jump there by the safety. But the defensive pressure coming up again, crucial for this Houston Texans, for this Kansas City Chiefs defense, forcing a second, what will be a third and long.
As you said, first time out taken for the Texans. It's 3rd and 13. Stroud rolling to his right, able to move forward, get some good yardage. I believe will be just short of the first. Good tackle there by number 27, Sharani Connor. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see what this is. And it is offensive holding. Absolutely the opposite of what you want to see if you are the Texans. Shaq Mason called for that one. And again, speaking of things you don't want to see, a big hit by Stroud in the lower leg region. And again, having a little bit of limp after that play.
Yeah, let's take a look at this play again. That's that's just something as a quarterback you can't do. I remember this quote from like these lines from Joe Burrow, who used to take a lot of big hits. In a situation like that, getting the yards is great, but that's just one of those moments where you have to just go down, take your yards, get the slide. That's just unnecessary from Stroud. Forcing now a third and very long 23 with 25 seconds to go. They're not really in field goal range either for Fairbairn either now.
They do give the handoff on 3rd and 23 to Pierce. He will get about near the 30. And so on 4th down, Kansas City taking their first time out, only about That'll make the clock 20 seconds on the clock for Kansas City as we await the kick by Cammy Fairbairn.
So now, well, one, you've given the Chiefs opportunity for time to do something. Of course, Robbie Basil, Chase Creedy. It's been a very weird half. We were talking about it during one of the breaks. It's been a very weird game so far. I mean, both teams having chances, and for the most part, both teams stalling out a lot. So now, well, one, Houston's given Kansas City another opportunity to go out and score, but Houston aren't getting totally outmatched like people thought they would. So Houston's showing that resiliency, but at the same time, they need to come out and score this if you're Fairbairn.
Kick is up, 48-yarder, no gimme, but he gets it done. Field goal is good, and the Texans will make it a one-score game as we see a couple seconds taken off, but nevertheless, the Chiefs will get the ball back. And again, just Texans not exactly what you want to see, but just doing a good job getting points on the board, making sure they're still in this matchup as we approach halftime.
And more importantly for them, it's a one possession game still. I mean, that's the one thing that you were worried about is, well, if the Texans are struggling, can they keep it as a one possession game? And so far, they've been able to do that, other than allowing the touchdown and going down 10. But they're not down 15. They're not down 20 like they were to Baltimore. They're not getting outclassed like how they did against Baltimore last year. They're in this game. They're causing pressure on defense. They're causing a lot of issues, mainly from Mahomes, other than that last drive, obviously. But look how close this went in, by the way. I thought this was no good initially, but you're seeing that huge wind. And you want to talk about the cold? Wait for tomorrow night with Buffalo and Baltimore. You're going to be scared because of the game. I think a lot more people are going to be scared because of the weather and nothing happening in that game, Chase.
Absolutely. The offensive firepower of an Allen and a Jackson, I think, will just create a big time offense no matter what the conditions will be. But nevertheless, that's just one of the many matchups we will have this weekend in this divisional round. Of course, also dealing with the Rams and the Eagles. Big matchup tomorrow to start off the games. And then tonight, as we've said, the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. Going to be a big matchup. As again, we wait to see what the Kansas City Chiefs can do. With about 10 seconds left to go, they will just go with a kneel. And so that will do it for the first half. Chiefs leading, as many may have presumed, but only 13-6. As we've said, a one possession game. Texans definitely all the way still in it. We would just have to see how they respond receiving the second half kickoff when we come back for this divisional round matchup from Game 5. Chiefs leading the Texans 13-6.
Let me show you why I stopped paying for all my other sample libraries. This is Arcade by Output. This thing has sounds.
Welcome you guys back. This is Game 5 showcase of the Chiefs and the Texans in this divisional round. Chase Creedy and Robbie Basil here for the halftime report. Chiefs leading 13-6, but especially when it's come in this game, it's really been the defenses that we talk about more. We saw only one touchdown scored in this matchup, and it's really just shown how much Houston and Kansas City, both the front lines, have been able to get the job done against these what have been pretty strong offenses, at least coming into this matchup.
For sure. I mean, you were expecting, Travis Kelce, who is the game's leading receiver. Your Nico Collins, who's not the leading receiver for the Texans, by the way. Let's actually take a look at the first half stats to find out who your stat leaders even are. It's C.J. Stroud, of course. He did not look bad. He also has a good amount of rushing yards from himself. Joe Mixon also 11 rushes for 46 yards. The leading receiver for the Texans, Sean Mechie. Need I say more? And of course, the only touchdown in this game going to Kareem Hunt from a couple of yards out. He's not the leading rusher, by the way, but of course you need to show that. He is the only guy with a touchdown today, and Travis Kelce only 2 receptions for 72 yards, and Mahomes for only 114 passing yards. We said this earlier. The Texans they needed to stay in this game, obviously, if they want to have any chance, but they only limited Mahomes to 114 passing yards and only 13 points. 1 for 3 in the red zone are the Chiefs today. The Texans are making this a game, whether you think about it or not. Stroud has mainly matched up with Mahomes, other than the couple of sacks that he's taken, but so far it's a very balanced half. It's been a very rock solid first half. I think for both teams, just for the Texans, they need to find ways to get the ball into a much more third and reasonable. I mean, they've had a couple of times on 3rd and long, and it's taken them out of field goal range. It's taken them out of better situations. A sack that led to a missed field goal. Time and time and time again. It's these missed opportunities that have really, really hurt them. It's something that, as we go on this afternoon, it's something that definitely needs to change.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to a game that we called about Ohio State versus Texas kind of reminds me of how, for Texas, it's ironic that it's a team, again, from Texas, that the defense is getting the job done, at least holding them enough. And the offense just has not fully clicked. And like you said, when it's coming to those third downs, just Stroud needing to have time to get the ball off and just not having it fully clicked that way. But I think a big component in the Texans being more in this game is, of course, getting that field goal to end the first half and coming back to the second half with the ball. I think they're going to make it very, very interesting. And as we said, leading up to this halftime report, another thing to mention is just beyond this matchup, the weekend, we've got some great games. Liz, why don't you take us through what you're thinking about this matchup, especially starting off tonight with Lions Commies.
Well, first of all, let's look again at our big schedule here for this weekend in the NFL, and don't forget, of course, the College Football Playoff National Championship on Monday. The game I'm most looking forward to, other than Bills-Ravens, very interesting game in Philadelphia with the Eagles and the Rams. We haven't really talked about the game yet, but Jalen Hurts comes back, who's had a little bit of a knock, but Saquon Barkley helping to lead that Eagles team against Jordan Love and the Packers. The Eagles defense really stepping up, forcing multiple big turnovers on Jordan Love. The Los Angeles Rams, who played that hotshot Minnesota Vikings team, they're able to force
What was that?
Verizon Transport entering Cleveland.
Inbound for New York.
Verizon Transport entering Chicago.
Verizon is bringing the Super Bowl to 30 cities across the country with an experience like no other. Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest, right on your home field. You win? Get your tickets today. Visit VerizonFanFest.com.
2 great running backs in Kyron Williams and Saquon Barkley. It's going to be very fun to watch out for sure. But Chase, talk to us about the game tonight, because the Commanders and the Lions, a very intriguing contest that we'll see Matthew Welling call tonight. What are you watching out for and in that type of a matchup?
I think a big proponent of that is just how the Washington defense is going to be handled, kind of the unit that is the Detroit Lions. Obviously, last week against the Buccaneers, they kind of had certain moments where they were able to get stops. Again, kind of leads to the end of the game. It came down to a crucial turnover on, an exchange between with Baker Mayfield, and that ending up being a turnover deep in their own territory. And so maybe without getting those big plays, it's going to be interesting to see how the Commanders are going to handle, an absolute heavyweight we see in the number one seed like Detroit. And as we called the game, like I said, with the Lions and the Vikings, we know just how instantly the Detroit team like that can just kind of click offensively and just get the job done.
It's very interesting because Jared Goff, who has the playoff experience, going up against the hot shot Jaden Daniels, one of the youngest quarterbacks ever to win a playoff game, especially on the road. The Washington team has probably been the most unexpected team coming out of the NFC this year, not named the Vikings. I mean, they had no expectations. They went out and won double-digit games, won a playoff game on the road. That matchup will be very interesting, but you can see that matchup in just a couple of hours, 8 p.m. right here on Given 5 Media. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the second half of the Chiefs and the Texans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And one. Welcome back to Given 5 Media's presentation of the NFL playoffs. And apologies if no one could really hear what we just said during halftime due to the music down below. We completely forgot we even had music in this stream. Usually, our games don't have music that much or really at all. So that's my mistake. So shout out to that. You can go after me in the comments, but listen, I can't do everything out here. You know what I'm saying? But know who is doing everything out here so far? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense, able to get 13 points and lead this game 13-6 in the second half, just moments away. Chase, that it's been a close game. That's what you were hoping for if you're a fan of the neutral. But I think you're ready to take us through the second half because a lot can happen. Because we both know in the snap of a finger, this game could go into complete chaos or turn into a complete disaster. So take us through it.
Absolutely. Getting the kickoff here. Texans will receive it, getting it out near the 10. It'll be Xavier Hutchinson, and he will get it past the 30, about near the 34, as we do see some flags fly. We'll see what that is here on the kickoff. But like you said, in an instant things could change. And if you're the Texans or Texans fans and you don't want that to happen, you need your offense to show some real life. I know they've been very, very promising in this first half, but again, just got to continue moving because this Chiefs team, especially in the playoffs, are going to do a great job at wearing them down, especially in Arrowhead. But we'll see how they respond, especially now as holding is the call on the Texans. So set back a few. It'll be on MJ Stewart. And so again, not what you want to see if you're the Texans, but just got to see how Stroud and this Texans offense will be able to respond here and start off the second half.
Let's go back to that first half and listen. CJ Stroud able to make some great plays. He picked up a knock or two throughout that first half, and whether you could hear us over the music or not, everyone knows when you're watching this game how much dangerous CJ Stroud can be. But it's been third down that's been really limiting them. So if you're Stroud, got keep it simple. Get a good game here to start us off on first down.
They go handoff with Mixon. He's not going to get much. Shamari Connor able to get the tackle there as the run game been a little bit down what we've seen in Mixon in the past, but nevertheless, Texans on second down. See what they could do here. They could do Mixon in motion once again. They fake the pitch a couple of times. Now goes screen to Mixon. And he'll stay up on his feet. Gets past the 25 and again be just a couple of yards short. And here comes that third down that irked the Texans a few times, but when Stroud has been able to get the passes off, have been very, very strong.
Yeah, go back to that last play. Just a little bit of a slip screen. They faked the double end around and was able to find Mixon. But remember, when they've struggled, the Texans, they had it as 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. These third and shorts, they've actually done pretty well on so far. So if they can continue to keep it, if they get to third down, third and very, very manageable, then they're going to have a chance in this game throughout. But if they can keep it at these third and short distances.
Hand off to Mixon and go right up the gut, and he'll easily get the first and a little bit more. And so just staying with Mixon on the drive so far, and he'll get the job done moving the chains. Good job there by the Texans back.
As Steve Spagnuolo has not been able to help shut down Joe Mixon up the middle. Good work there by the center. Able to get the double block off and able to move it forward a little bit. If I have to call a halfback counter with Joe Mixon up the middle. D'Amico Ryans showing his appreciation for the former Cincinnati Bengal running back, now over 50 yards for the contest.
They go handoff once again to Mixon, trying to get to the outside. And he'll be taken down near the 40. As the rush game of the Texans just continuing to get good yardage. Be second and short.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're able to give it to Mixon again, get to the edge, get to the outside, and able to get a very good gain on first down. That's something that they need to continue to do if they want to stay in this. Get those good gains on first down. Progress the ball down the field. They've done that time and time again, especially in this drive as well.
Play action. Stroud with some time. Now going to run. Tries to cut to the outside to beat the linebacker and is going to be able to get the first down. Time and time again, we see the legs of CJ Stroud, though they've taken some hits in this game, get the job done for the first.
Well, that time, CJ Stroud had about infinite time in the pocket. No one was open, able to roll out to his right and go out there and get the first down. Keeping it simple. It looked like he was going to go for Nico Collins again. He actually took a big bump. Surprised there was no penalty for illegal contact. But regardless, it's a big play and another first down. Texans able to keep moving the ball down the field and move the chains.
Stroud looked to hand off to Pierce, but the play called dead. As flag is thrown, it is a false start on the Texans. So a little bit of hampering on the drive, but nevertheless, will be first as we see, I believe, Nico Collins on the sideline for a moment there.
It is Nico Collins, but let's look at like some Nico Collins plays so far. I mean, the issue for him is that, with only one main option for the Houston Texans, it's been Nico Collins getting double teamed a lot by Connor and Cook, and he's taking a lot of shots, especially from Cook, who did leave the game briefly earlier on. But interesting to see if how the adjustment is in this throughout the second half. As there's a tackle for a loss. Chris Jones able to get the stop there for a big loss. Actually, it's, one of the other defensive tackles, big number 97, Anuzdike Uzama, for a big loss of about 7, Chase.
Yeah, now what you want to see for the Texans after having that false start now moved even further back. Second and 19. Stroud throws over the middle, gets the connection near midfield. And that is Xavier Hutchinson. Had a couple of targets in the first half, able to connect there. Be 3rd and 5. Good little gain for the Texans as they again reach that 3rd and medium that they need to capitalize on to stay in this matchup.
Just a quick skinny post over the middle to Hutchinson, a player who's really need to step up in this game after Nico Collins has been shut down for most of it. Able to just find that space in the middle of the field. Stroud able to go through his reads. A good ball to Hutchinson to make it 3rd and reasonable.
Took a big hit from Hicks as now they're able to get the throw off on 3rd down and on the quick little slant there for Schultz. Connection from Stroud to Schultz for a 1st down. As again, we see time and time again, just the Texans quickly moving.
You say time and time again they're moving, but time and time again they've risen to the occasion. I mean, you had that 2nd and 19 a couple minutes ago, and they're able to now they got the 3rd and short. Now they're able to find Dalton Schultz, the former Dallas Cowboy, and able to get the 1st down, showing that fight, that Texans fight that they've had all season long, really being able to stand up to this Chiefs defense so far.
They go handoff to Mixon, finds a hole on the right side, and good little yardage there. A couple of yards short. So they place it. It'll be 2nd and 3 after the run by Mixon.
Continuing to get those good gains on 1st down. You hear me repeat that all day, but Joe Mixon just under 70 yards now rushing. He's had a really solid start on the ground. So that's something that's going to need to continue if you're the fan of the Houston Texans. Is that continuing usage of the ground game. That's something that time and time again, D'Amico Ryans has been able to use. His offense with Slowick has been able to use so far.
They go with a run with Mixon again. He'll be just short of the 1st down line. Gets a couple of yards there. It will be 3rd and 1. As again, like we've said, they've met these 3rd downs. And we'll just see how Stroud and these Texans can respond once again.
I give a quick shout out to Beck, the fullback, able to throw Andrew Beck, able to throw a quick block on the left side, able to help get Mixon a little bit forward. 8th career season for Mixon, over 7,400 career yards and 14 total touchdowns 14 receiving touchdowns rather. That's something that he's been able to use time and time again, especially this season.
Stroud rolling out on the fake, moving and fires across, finds Collins, and he hauled that one in. They say yes. Oh, great catch there by Collins. Quick adjustment, read on the coverage. Is now the Texans looking to move quickly again here on 1st down now in the 25. Stroud fires outside to Smith. However, a flag is thrown. And this one will be coming back.
Let's take a look at this play again. Stroud is able to drop, and I'm interested to see what the penalty is. This might be illegal contact against the Texans. I think it's going to be against Schultz, number 86. Or might be pass interference on the offense. Interested to see how they word this.
They do call it OPI, offensive pass interference. Like you said, on Schultz, just a little bit too much contact further down the field. Stroud, not happy about it, and I'm sure many Texans fans, the last thing you want to see. But a nice little catch there by Collins. Team now gets set back 10 yards for 1st and 20. Set on their own 30, or on the Chiefs 34, rather. They go handoff up the middle. Pierce, good little job fighting through the hole. Gets decent yardage there. However, still be 2nd and quite long.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce one of the better running backs on this Houston Texans roster, able to find the holes, get a nice game, make it second and more manageable because it feels second and 20 again. Texans, who we've seen how this wind works in at Arrowhead, it would not be that friendly, but this Texas offensive line, they got to get some of their flowers on this drive as well because they've been able to put on a show. Over 8 minutes on this drive now, Chase.
Absolutely. Stroud goes back to pass, throwing over the middle. And again, he finds his man Hutchinson. So, like we've said, just going to whoever's open if you're CJ Stroud and Xavier Hutchinson doing some good work on this drive. And they'll place him just about short, make it 3rd and 1.
Very weird spot here. I'm surprised they marked him short on this. It looked like the ball got to the line of the game, but I guess they ruled his knee being down. But just for reference for the folks at home, this is the first drive of the second half. We have 6 minutes left in this quarter. I've not seen a drive like this, especially in the NFL, in a very long time. That shows that Hutchinson got the line of the game. Very weird spot by the officials there, Chase.
Indeed, as on 3rd and 1, they go handoff to Mixon. He got it, but there is a flag thrown. As they continue to deliberate, we'll see what the call is here. And it is on the offense. And so again, that spot is going to be even more detrimental.
It's
Make
going
it
to be a legal
3rd down
shift.
long.
I think I think they called it a legal shift here. Illegal motion, rather.
Mm,
But still, it's not a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15 or whatever. It's 3rd and reasonable still. But go back to that spot again. That's a poor there by the officials. That has to be called a first down. You already know social media is going to go off on this one, Chase. Because that
absolutely.
really did look like a first down.
But the Texans, Stroud and this offense just need to continue to move as he will be back to pass. Evading pressure, rolling to his right, gonna try to take it himself, absorbs a big hit from Reed. Let's see where they spot it. They do give him the first down. So great job by Stroud as he's done all drive and really all game, just doing whatever needs to be done. And that taking a pretty big hit from Reed, ensuring a first down for the Texans.
So a couple of bit of things to note on this play. 3 missed penalties on this one play alone. First of all, shout out to Stroud taking out the cameras as well. Taking out defenders and cameras. CJ Stroud, ladies and gentlemen. There's 2 holes in the backfield, and there's a face mask on the defense off the ball. So a very weird sequence of events. Over 10 minutes now. I keep noting the time. I've never seen this before, Chase. How long this drive is? What, 14 plays? Insanity here in the second half. To start the second half, but the
Absolutely.
Texans need to punch this in now. Has to be a touchdown.
They go handoff to Mixon, gets through to the second level, and he will walk it in. And the Houston Texans finally get into the end zone, rather. And it is Joe Mixon. Second rushing touchdown of the day between these two teams, as the only 2 touchdowns between these two teams. As the Texans an extra point away from tying it after the rushing touchdown by Joe Mixon.
Well, I've seen something that I've never seen before, and that's a 10-minute drive in an NFL game. But this is something that we have seen before, and it's Joe Mixon able to read that defense so well. Good block there, setting the edge by Beck, the fullback, number 47. Good block, and Mixon just walks it in untouched for the touchdown.
Snap is good, kick is up, and it is to the right. Just misses on the extra point as Fairbairn. We saw him miss a deep one earlier, and the qualms continue. And so the Texans continue to be down, though only 1 point. Chiefs lead 13-12. We'll be right back for the Game 5 showcase, this divisional matchup. Welcoming you guys back. Give them five. Starting off the divisional round with Chiefs Texans. Chiefs leading only 1 point after a touchdown drive by the Texans. But beyond, getting that rushing touchdown, making it closer, and missing that extra point, something that needs to be addressed is just how long that was. How many times adversity was met by this Texans team and able to get the job done at the expense of about 10 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I said it right before we went to break, is how long that drive was. I mean, the time and time that the Texans were able to respond, but now, I mean, we talked about over the break the missed call. I mean, I brought up the missed calls. I mean, you saw the missed moments there as we say, oh, Taylor Swift at it again with, how about that? Caitlin Clark. What a weird duo that is. I mean, you think of, oh, Taylor Swift and probably another singer. No, it's probably two of the best uh, women in either sports or in songwriting right now, Chase. So very interesting duo there.
Absolutely. Arrowhead is the home of the top tier female celebrities. As we get the kickoff here to the Chiefs. Nice little run here again. And tripped up. Boy, almost looked again like it could have been a big return for Kansas City. As again, it was Remigio on that one, but there was a flag thrown. So we will see who that goes up against.
I think it's just gonna come back. I think I saw a block in the back right by the sideline. So I think this could be coming back for that.
So we see star defensive lineman Chris Jones dealing with something on the sideline. As you are correct on the call, so we'll set the Chiefs back a little bit. And we will see how Mahomes and this Chiefs offense can respond after being only up 1 point after the touchdown drive by the Texans.
So now this is where it gets interesting because the Chiefs, this is more important for the Chiefs than you would think it is. Because remember, Texans just had a 10-minute drive. The Texans offense moving the ball, Chiefs defense needs some rest. A 3-and-out, last thing you need. But we'll stay with you for this. 13-12, of course, the Chiefs leading the Texans. In just a couple of hours, we'll have Matthew Welling and his game on Give 'em 5 with the inaugural Welling watch-alongs with the Lions and the Commanders. And you will see that in just under 2 hours. So it should be very interesting, and hopefully all of you watching our stream or whichever stream you want to watch, or if you're watching this game, you just need different commentators. Maybe you get tired of Joe Buck from time to time, like some people do. You can just check us out here on Give 'em 5 Media for most games. And make sure, by the way, shout out to the Give 'em 5 Instagram. Just hit 100 followers back on Thursday. So shout out to the Give 'em 5 Instagram. Make sure you follow us as well there. Hopefully soon we'll be posting more content on there. And hopefully, I know you guys, I've gotten some requests to do different sports here. Hopefully in the future, basketball could be coming. Hockey might be coming later on. So there's rumors of soccer, maybe. So we might be giving it all. Yeah, Chase giving that reaction.
Oh,
So who knows? But if you have a sport that you want us to do, drop it below in the comments. I do read the comments, damn it. We read chat, we read the comments. You drop it below my video that comes out on Tuesday. Drop it below any of the streams. If you want cricket, we'll find a way. If you want table tennis, if you want us to stay up till 3 a.m. for the Australian Open, we will do whatever you guys need. So we'll see, though. Has to be reasonable. So if you want rowing or like clay pigeon launching or whatever, we can't do it all, but we'll do as much as you can for you guys because we know that some of you guys really like some of those obscure sports. And one that I've found very interesting, Chase, and when I was on my trip recently, I learned about this was darts. Darts is a very popular one. Of
mm-hmm.
course, the World Championships happening a couple of weeks ago.
Of
But
course.
but unlike a couple of weeks ago when the darts World Championships were, in just a couple of weeks is the Super Bowl for the NFL, and one of these teams hopefully will continue their road to the Super Bowl as the score remains 13-12. And Chase, talk us through this first play for the Chiefs.
Absolutely. Mahomes rolling out to his right, and he will connect to Kelsey. They get a first down a little bit more. However, a flag is thrown. So we'll see if this one comes back or not. And it will be. Be a hold on Kansas City. So not what you want to see after getting, like we said, 10 and a half minutes of game time worth of break. Coming into this game, we haven't seen the Chiefs offense on the field since their kneel down to end of the first half. So whether or not rust has settled in or the legs of the defense have gotten, you know, more rest, it's going to be interesting to see here and not how you want to start with a hold.
I'm interested to see if this is half the distance to the goal or not. This is on Smith, the right guard. I think from behind the play. Yeah, that's a hold. I think everyone and their mother knows that's a hold. So it'll be first down and 19. Not first and 20, first and 19.
They go handoff to Pacheco. He'll get some good yardage, be just short of the 20-yard line. Still a bit to go for on second down, but a little movement there from the running back. We'll have 2nd and 9 here again. We've seen out of this offense hasn't been, the premier stuff we've seen out of classic Mahomes and, this classic playoff experience of the Chiefs, but nevertheless, they continue in the lead and look to move more here. Gray in motion, the backup tight end, as Mahomes with time, looking downfield. Still not too much pressure in front of him, but he is finally taken down. Trying to do a little bit of scrambling and just a little bit too much time for the defense. They get him down after about a gain of 1. Tackle by Daniil Hunter.
Well, Hunter gets held a couple of times, was able to find a way to bring down Mahomes. I actually think Mahomes is going to get more yards than you think. I don't know if it's knee hit or not. It looks like a game of 1 or more like 2 or 3. But now this is 3rd and long. This is not what you need to see if you are the fans of the Chiefs. Because the way the Texans offense is flying, this is not what you want. But Travis Kelce, that's who they were trying to go to. It's not a lot of separation for really any of the receivers there. It's a good play there by the Texans.
3rd and 6, and again, just open over the middle is Kelce, and he'll move forward for the first down, getting the job done. And like you said, just be able to get movement offensively and just somehow leaving, seeming the most important pass catcher on the team, open enough for the first down.
You see the energy after that play. Kelsey knows how big that play is, but what I like about Stroud and what I like about Mahomes, they keep it simple. It's just a block and release drag is what I like to call that type of route. Kelsey able to go from left to right and makes it easy, just a quick dump down, and able to get so many yards after the catch. Able to show that momentum, all that energy. 3 catches, 84 yards, 50 receiving yards after the catch, Chase.
So bobbled snap there on Mahomes, trying to make something of it now, rolling to the right, tries to make some moves. Just going to go down, takes a couple of big hits, and that's going to get the flags flying. And just on what looked like could have been a promising play for the Texans, starting off with a bobble on Mahomes' part, that's going to end up being much, much more because of the efforts by the Texans' defensive line.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because, well, one, you start off with Mahomes making a mistake. And then it was, well, unfortunately, it turns into now a 15-yard penalty against yourselves after, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer personal foul there. Good call there by the referees. So now, turns into a very weird spot if you're Houston, because now you've given more opportunities to Mahomes, and you've given them a second chance of life, it feels like now, on this drive.
Mahomes just goes quickly over the middle, finds Gray. Going to get a couple of yards there. And now already under a minute left to go in this third quarter. As we said, time really moving. Be 2nd and 4. Presumably get about one more play off in this third. Already in Texans territory. Near the 40 is Kansas City. They get it off Mahomes, pressured, and they'll say just able to get the throw off. Hunter in there on the pressure as the throw was near Daniil Hunter. Or not Daniil Hunter, rather than Isaiah Pacheco. And the clock is stopped, so we will see 3rd and 4. How this Kansas City offense will respond.
Yeah, they're not going to obviously not call that intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area despite Mahomes being in the pocket. But good pressure there by the Texans. They need a stop here because another first down brings Kansas City into field goal range. If you're the Texans, it's the last thing you want, regardless of how the wins are, because Harrison Butker or whoever the Chiefs kicker is, they can go out there and make a field goal with ease with these wins. So, but Daniel Hunter, 12 sacks, 48 pressures. The sacks tied for fifth in the NFL in sacks this year. And coming off that left side, he's caused so many issues.
Quick throw over the middle to Gray. Takes a big hit from Al-Shaair. Did he get enough moving forward for the first? See what the call is here. We'll have the clock remaining to tick as the ref's still conferring over the call. D'Amico
So,
Ryans incensed on the sideline.
so what's weird is this is a very similar play. Remember when we were talking about the spot from earlier? This is the same thing. So I think D'Amico Ryan should be challenging this. You have a shot at it. We're waiting for a decision here.
I believe they officially make it 4th and 1. And with that, the clock will remain to tick down as that will take us to the end of the third quarter. It was dominated by really one big drive by the Texans, able to take it down to 1 point. And now we'll see what the Chiefs will do on 4th and 1, leading 13-12 when we come back. Welcome you guys to the final quarter of our first divisional round matchup here in the NFL. It's the Chiefs and the Texans here on Given 5. Chase Caridi, Robbie Basil here to take you through it. And as we said leading up at the end of the third quarter, big spot and even bigger play coming up, 4th and 1. The Chiefs only leading 1 point. Do we see if Mahomes and this Chiefs unit have another momentum? And we'll see as we have Noah Gray in motion. They just go handoff to Kareem Hunt, and he will spin and fall just enough forward for the first down. Doing a good job there. Immediately met, but able to turn and get the first. And that is certainly how you want to start this this fourth quarter if you're the Chiefs.
I mean, he runs right into the back of his right guard, but able to pull up a little bit of a spin move and just get the first down, move his way forward. Good work there by Kareem Hunt. Yeah, good block by, I believe, Gray as well, because an extra edge rusher came in, would have caused pressure off the edge if Gray wasn't there. So good call for the motion, good run, good first down there by the Chiefs.
They go handoff to Hunt once again, and he's initially met near the 20, I believe, but Pyle able to move forward, and they will be just a few yards short. Already going to make it 2nd and 2, and I believe Hunt on the ground a little bit longer. We'll see. Clock continues to tick. Again, 2nd and 2 for the Chiefs. He gets up, and we'll see what they'll be able to do. Hunt still in the game. On Mahomes' right. On the 26. Mahomes over the middle. Gets it to Kelsey. Moving forward. Big hit inside the 10. And just like that, in a couple of plays, the Chiefs showing the offensive machine they are. 1st and goal.
Good ball to Kelsey, but it's yards after the catch again, just spins around and able to get across the 10, inside the 10 down to about the 6. But it's another like route over the middle. I mean, it's not a difficult route from Kelsey. It's a deep in, making it simple, and now it's 1st and goal at a dangerous spot for the Chiefs.
Mahomes backs on each side of him. Smith-Schuster in motion. As now Mahomes trying to move forward. He is taken down behind the line, but there was a flag thrown. See what the call is here. Refs confer.
I'm interested to see what this is. I would be shocked. It's a legal shift, so this should be declined. You've got to expect it because it's a loss of 5. The down judge right on the left side immediately calling for that illegal shift. I thought I saw it as well. Good call there by the officials.
And so they will decline. It will be 2nd and goal. They took down Mahomes well behind the line of scrimmage. And so set up on the 13-yard line of the Texans. Mahomes back on his left. Hopkins in motion. Mahomes pressured. Now full green grass ahead of him, but just going to be getting about 1. Tries to go for some theatrics, I believe, on that last play, trying to get call there, moving to the sideline. Gets about just 1, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Was able to break the initial tackle and get all the way to the outside. I think it was trying to draw a penalty right towards the sidelines. I thought he actually had a chance. D'Amico Ryans is like had a big side. You could see it under the ski mask. So close. I think a lot of nice little soccer dive as well. Neymar Jr. would be proud of that one.
Good effort, but could not get it as Mahomes throws it up, and oh my goodness, what a touchdown! Mahomes going down to the ground, just floats it up, and who else but Travis Kelce? And again, this just dynamic duo connects once more on an insane touchdown to go up
How?
full touchdown. 7
Like
points.
that's all you can say. How? That's incredible from Patrick Mahomes. He's falling down. It looks like a baseball play. Yes, he played baseball, obviously, but it looks like a baseball play. 13 plays, 81 yards, it's 744. The long drives have dominated the second half, but my goodness, what a drive there by the Chiefs. A much needed one as well.
Well, Edwards almost had him. Kick is up and good. But after that, miraculous touchdown by Mahomes to Kelsey. Chiefs lead 20-12. We'll see how the Texans respond when we come back. And give them 5 in this matchup. Welcome you guys back to this divisional matchup between the Chiefs and the Texans. And boy, it has been quite the second half. He had a big, big drive by the Texans, put it within one, and then what we just saw one of the most wild plays in recent playoff history is Mahomes falling down makes that play for a touchdown pass. And now down 8. We'll see how the Texans respond, but it's just what can you say about this matchup so far?
I mean, let's look at the game summary first of all. It's been I want to call it special teams woes for both of them. Not really. I mean, what extended the last drive was the Henry Tua penalty. Even though Mahomes was going down, you brought it up during the break. It looked like the Texans hit each other. So a little bit questionable calls here and there, but it's been a very interesting game, a very close matchup. But now the Texans, who have to score here, I believe, have an opportunity. As this will be going, I believe, for I don't know, it's gonna be return. Talk us through it, Chase.
Hutchinson moving it up on the right side, now cutting to the left. Breaks the initial tackle and finally able to taken down. Big huddle, lot of jumping movement there, but he is taken down. Finally, we'll see how the Texans respond now. But again, like we've said, with the Kansas City Chiefs these past couple of years, two-time back-to-back Super Bowl champs and even one before that a few years back. What can you say about kind of the dynasty that they've had so far and what they're continuing to build, especially now in the prime of Patrick Mahomes' career?
It's an interesting question, right? Because I mean, with what Patrick Mahomes and this team has been able to do, of course, we're in a break now. So, and for those who are just joining us now, Chiefs leading by a score of 20-12, 11:43 to go in this contest in regulation. Here in this break, I mean, we are in a situation where I mean, the Chiefs have a chance to do something we've never seen before. That's something that we see in sports now a lot of days. Some things we've never seen before. LeBron James breaking the scoring record in NBA history. Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And now you're seeing it with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, if you want to talk about hockey, you're just talking about the points numbers with Connor McDavid out with the Edmonton Oilers. But now you're seeing it in football with Patrick Mahomes and what this Kansas City Chiefs are able to team is able to do. They're not the most talented off team in the world. I don't think that at all. But they're able to use what they have and use it to their advantage. And what they've had is success defensively. They've been able to move the ball well when they've needed to, and they've shined when they've needed when they have needed to throughout this game and throughout this season. They are one of the most frustrating teams to watch. I can tell you that. And they play a lot of close games and get out by the skin of their teeth. And there's a very good chance that we see this again here today. Because missed extra point. Now, if the Texans score, you got to go for two. The script writers are putting on a clinic, first of all. But now you have to, it'll be like, now they have to go for two if they get a touchdown. It feels a little bit suspicious. It's just a very interesting team the Kansas City Chiefs are.
Absolutely. If you're the Texans, you want to score and you want to score fast because if there is even the chance of missing that 2-point conversion if they get a touchdown, you want to make sure you can have time to at least get the ball back. With the way the Chiefs offense is rolling, I mean, making something out of nothing Mahomes did on the last touchdown drive, you'd be questioning ever giving them the ball back. But nevertheless, the Texans offensively going to be trying to move here. On first down, Stroud already rolling out to his right. He'll just take a quick check down to, I believe, the backup tight end, Smith. And he'll get just about a yard or two there. Good job on Stroud, just getting minimal positive gain.
Yeah, they have. I mean, there's not really a chance where you can have any more of those negative plays. Those negative plays have to be out the window because there's not that much time left. If the Chiefs get the ball, there's a good chance that that the Texans don't get the ball back in this contest for how long these drives have been. So if you're the Texans, you need to continue to keep it simple for Stroud. Get the ball out of Stroud's hands fast and continue to just push down the field time and time and time again. They're the only current team, by the way, as we said in the beginning, to never win a road playoff game. And the Texans still have an opportunity to do it right here.
They go play action again. Stroud stepping up in the pocket, fires deep, and finds his man, Nico Collins. Gets the connection once again. Good job on Stroud. Getting that one off right in the face of Chris Jones. Nevertheless, a big completion there as the Texans continue to move the ball.
You talk about a good work there from CJ Stroud. How about Nico Collins? I mean, one thing you don't usually see as a receiver, by the way, Stroud got rocked during that play as well. But you don't see a receiver always put two hands on the football, and Collins making sure no fumbles happen in this part of the field, not this late in the game. CJ Stroud, 13 of 17 for 178, much better than his performance against the Baltimore than his performance against the Ravens last year.
First down, he tries to go a little check down to Mixon, but just a little too far ahead. It's kind of what we saw a lot with the sophomore slump, just kind of missing on those quick little passes is what we've seen when Stroud was at his most questionable. But as we've said, since those moments we say on Christmas versus the Ravens, he's just continued to elevate his game, even in that last matchup in the wild card versus the Chargers, and even now going up against the number 1 seed Chiefs is now again the play clock running down, back on his left. Blitz has him firing the ball immediately and almost hauling that one in, but incomplete. Jared Wayne could not get that one. Stroud had to go quick and just unable to get that one. Is Wayne already a little bit too far past it?
So Wayne going for the one-handed grab, having to go against his body. Stroud able to get the ball out of his hands quickly on that one. But this is where, one, 4-down territory has to be in play for the Texans. The one thing I haven't really seen today, and you might correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't there only been like 2 combined punts in this game or something ridiculous? Like, there hasn't been a lot of punts. Also, you got to point out Nick Bolton, good rush there from him to force Stroud to have it to throw that ball out right away. But big play here. I would expect a run just to make it 4th and manageable, and then they go for on 4th down. That would be my expectation.
They get the free runner again on the blitz, and Stroud just has to throw that one away. Try to go for a screen to Pierce, and just absolutely catastrophe. If you're the Texans, it's the former Texan Justin Reed in on that pressure.
Catastrophic indeed. I mean, it's a double. They go double. Well, they tried to go double initially. It turns into one-on-one with everybody, but they rush 6 against 5, and Justin Reed able to force that pressure on CJ Stroud, go untouched up the middle. So now the question is simple. Do they go for this or not? I believe the offense is staying on the field.
They are, and Stroud having to move back, rolling to his right, trying to get out of pressure, and just unable to do so. Takes a massive sack on what was already 4th and 10. That'll be a turnover on downs, and with about 10 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter, I feel like a lot of people will already be saying this one is very much already in the Chiefs' way, as we will see Kansas City get the ball back, already up 8 when we come back. Welcome you guys back to Game 5, showcasing the first of the divisional matchups uh, between in the NFL. It is the Chiefs and the Texans. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil here as the Chiefs getting the ball back. And again, as we've said, just with the playoff experience and just what the Chiefs are in the league right now, absolutely dominant and just absolutely caused the worst case scenario for the Houston Texans, giving the ball back to the Chiefs, already down one full score.
Yeah, it's only caused more and more problems, something that you were not hoping for if you are a fan of the Houston Texans. And for a lot of people who I know hate the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, this game is pretty much over now. The only way that the Texans have a chance is if they get a stop and quick.
Absolutely stopping, I believe, Hunt there on the run. Maybe gets about 1 yard there and just showing what we saw in that last play. Just frantic is what the Texans were in those last couple of plays, allowing free runner after free runner, or rusher rather, and just getting home or causing an incompletion. And there was the turnover on downs, which was massive in making the chances of the Kansas City Chiefs advancing much higher. As we see now, quick little throw there to Worthy. And I believe he'll get just back to the line of scrimmage. So quickly, 3rd and 9. Good stops there from the Texans defense. So we'll see what the Chiefs will do on 3rd and long, seemingly already in Texans territory.
I want to go back to that 4th down play here. I'm surprised, but not surprised that D'Amico Ryans didn't call a timeout. But because you're down to 5, you're still in the huddle. Typically, that's where you see a timeout call, but they force C.J. Stroud to break the huddle quick. Everyone gets set and go. But now, big chance here for the Texans to go out and get a stop on 3rd down quickly and have a ton of time to still have a chance in this contest.
Mahomes gets snap off. Pressure emanating. Now rolling to the right. Looking for something. Now fires and incomplete. So a good job by the Texans with seemingly the whole world thinking this one was wrapped up, causing a 3-and-out. And we'll see them get the ball once again after many long drives, seemingly about a minute only taken off the clock there.
Fun fact, I believe that's our first 3-and-out of this contest. So now, well, one, this game just got really interesting because Kansas City, I'm surprised they didn't just go 3 runs and drain the clock. They decided to pass twice, which is very odd. So now, infinite time for the Texans. And they'll have it wherever this punt gets downed.
Punt taken by Woods. Be inside the 15, as we will see again. Stroud and company won't be easy. Down 8. We'll see how they will be able to respond after the 3-and-out when we come back for this divisional round matchup. Welcome you guys back to the Game 5 showcase of the divisional round, starting off with the Chiefs and Texans. Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basil. Just quickly before this Texans drive, I want to let you guys know, like, subscribe, comment, just all that good stuff because, well, hopefully the Texans can make this one one that we can remember, at least, in what has been a Chiefs' dominant run in the playoffs. Texans trying to take a little slide on that. We'll see what they'll do with CJ Stroud and company as we await this beginning of this drive.
One quick note here, make sure to check us out for the College Football Playoff National Championship here on Monday night here on Give 'em 5 Media. Dylan Shalom and myself on the call for what should be a memorable night as well for the College Football Playoff for Notre Dame, Ohio State. We see two players from some of those teams, CJ Stroud and is it Jared Patterson?
That's correct, sir.
Another one of the Texans offensive linemen, both from both of those two national championship contenders.
It'll be very interesting to see what that team's able to do, but more interesting right now as the Texans go with a handoff up the middle to Mixon. He's going to get 4 on that play. As we see the Texans, not ideal starting position as they are already deep inside their own territory. Going to have to move out of it and especially try to not leave too much time on the clock.
Not a bad transition there by you. Got to give you a shout real quick there, Chase. Not a bad first down play from the Texans, able to move the ball forward, give them some more breathing room. But play number 53 overall in the game for the Texans, you thought that the Texans would get blown out and after how bad they played it sometimes in the first half. But by the way, 16 straight one-score wins for the Chiefs. Talk us through the second down play, Chase.
Stroud, play action. He's going to be rolling to his right, fires it to, I believe, Collins, and almost had it for a moment, but popped out at the end. Good coverage there. I believe McDuffie on it once again. As quickly, it is third down again for this Texans team that saw it plenty of times in their about 10-minute drive to start the third quarter. And now going to have to see it once again if they want any chance in this matchup. Stroud, play clock running down, alone in the backfield. They get the snap off. Pressure in his face. Now finally gets it off and incomplete. Looking for Collins. Double coverage. Watson in on there. A little shaken up after the play. But again, just couldn't find anything. Another Chiefs member down as well. A lot of colliding in that play.
Surprised that wasn't intercepted. The Chiefs had a free interception. We have a player down. I don't know if Watson's still down. Yeah, he's getting up now, as you said. We do have a player down, though, and we'll stick it here with us for right now. So big moment, obviously, for Kansas City. Well, one, they just forced a 3-and-out, which we haven't really seen at all. Now we've seen 2. But now that's wow. Looks worse than we thought initially.
A lot of
Take a look at it one
contact
more
there.
time. I think that's Justin Reed, one of the safeties.
Former Texan. Justin Reed, big hit on that. Watson, I believe, would have had that interception, but it was that collision between him and Reed that really popped it out. And so with 4th and 6, as we await that in break right now, you have to imagine with the Houston Texans, I mean, obviously you don't want to give the Chiefs the ball back. You already got the chance of 1 3-and-out. The chance of getting another one are not very high, but you can't go for it possibly even with this much time, especially this deep in your own end zone or territory.
Absolutely not. I mean, the only play I would see is a fake punt, but there's no way you fake punt it here. Like, not a chance. So you're going to have to, again, rely on your defense to save you here. And if you're the Chiefs, one, you got bailed. Second, they have to focus not on trying to score, but work the clock. We've seen that. The one team I know used to do it really well was Michigan with Harbaugh as head coach. They used to kill the clock and kill out the rest of the game. Kansas City has to do something similar because the clock, one, is now not the best friend of the Texans. And it was the best friend back in the third quarter, but now it's totally not by one bit. So if you're Kansas City, got to expect them to run the ball a lot more now with Pacheco, with Hunt. They have to do that to drain more clock, and they'll have decent field position, I believe, whenever this punt happens. But it's a very interesting spot for both teams. I think that's the only first or second 3-and-out by Houston at all today.
Yeah, as we come back now from break, good to see Reed up and about on the sideline. As we said again, 4th and 6, 3 and out caused by Kansas City, especially exactly what they needed after having a 3 and out themselves. This will now be punter Tommy Townsend, the former Kansas City Chief, on for the Texans. Nico Remigio to return the punt for Kansas City. Had that big return to start this matchup. As the ball will sail out near midfield. And so Kansas City, again, like we said, will have good field position here to start out and potentially ice this game.
Like I said, you got to kill the clock now. You've won fantastic field position. They're going to have it in Houston territory, I believe. You got to go out, move the ball, run the ball, and kill out the rest of this game. Because we look back at the drive from a couple minutes ago with Houston, the second to last drive, 5 straight blitzes. You saw that from Steve Spagnuolo's defense, causing too much pressure on Stroud. It got sacked on so many big plays, showing and CJ showing that frustration. He's been sacked 4 times today.
Mahomes goes with a quick throw over the middle. It's Kelsey again, who get a couple of yards there. Able to actually cover down and not allow any big plays to give about 4 for 2nd and 6. Again, like you've said, Chiefs, interesting to be passing at this point when you think a couple of runs, try to at least get some clock moving. But clock will continue to tick with the pass and tackle down over the middle as we see Mahomes again back on his right. Worthy in motion. They do go handoff to Hunt, and he will get the first down a little bit more to the 30. And as I said, big, crucial time for this Texans defense, who has been very strong throughout. Definitely need to get the job done right now and not allow not even a score, but just too much time off the clock against Kansas City.
Definitely. And Matt Nagy, who has called, I think, a solid game so far with this Patrick Mahomes-led offense. I mean, first play, I guess he didn't understand the assignment, but now he does. I don't know. I mean, good call with the run play there. Texans stacked the box. They went misdirection. Good run there from Hunt. Only 28 yards, but he does have that key touchdown back in the first half.
They go again to Hunt to the left side. Not with anything, but then finds the opening. It's going to get the first down and a little more. Good run by Kareem Hunt as he's celebrating as the Chiefs continue to get this clock going down. That's a big first down for Kansas City.
The physicality of Kareem Hunt on full display now, breaking that first tackle, able to get to the second level. I thought he was gone for a second, but coming out to make the play was one of the men in the secondary. I think Al Shai, one of the defensive backs, missed the first tackle, and Kareem Hunt able to take advantage. But this is what they needed to do: drain more clock. We're down to inside 5.5. That's what exactly Kansas City's doing a textbook job now on draining this clock.
A lot of movement there for Worthy, and they do go to him as a screen. He drops the ball. They call it incomplete forward pass. A good stop there for the Texans. Makes it 2nd and 10 and stops the clock at 5:32. As we now have inside Texans red zone at about the 18. It's Kelsey in motion for the Chiefs. As Mahomes now going to take the check down to Kelsey, who will be immediately wrapped up and lose about 1 or 2. And again, it'll be 3rd and long. As again, the connection to Kelsey, but just nothing there but a loss.
It still doesn't really help that Houston's getting a loss here because Kansas City's in field goal range. So no matter what, as long as Kansas City continues to drain this clock, they likely have this wrapped up unless Bucker misses the field goal. But look at Travis Kelsey. He's been able to find open space so many times in the middle of those deep zones from Houston. That's what's been the big game changers. Those is Kelsey finding the holes in the zone, breaking tackles, yards after catch. That's been the big theme of them all night, and he's been so good at it time and time again today.
Texans took a timeout, so we have 5:25 on the clock. Stopped. As again, We will see 3rd and 10. They have it for the Chiefs. Samaje Perine in the backfield now for Kansas City. Pressure is brought, and Worthy again makes a great adjustment on a catch. Will be just about a yard short for 4th down. This clock again continues to tick, and we'll see what Kansas City does on 4th and 1. Seemingly just gets more insurance, and they will go to Butker to extend this lead.
So here's what I don't understand: that Houston didn't call timeout again. Like I know they called timeout initially. Man, I'm just really surprised here with D'Amico Ryans not calling timeout again. It's a very weird strategy.
As we now, Harrison Butker for the 27-yard field goal. Hold is good, and kick is up and good. And so the Chiefs able to go up now 11 points, 23-12. As the time for the Texans is running out. They'll get the ball back, now down 2 scores. We'll see how Stroud and company will be able to respond when we come back. We welcome you guys back to Game 5 showcase of the first division round matchup in the NFL, the Chiefs and the Texans. So we await the Texans to come back into this game down 2 scores now after the field goal by Harrison Butker and the Kansas City Chiefs. As now Butker, subsequently with kickoff, will go out of play for a touchback. And, with 4.5 minutes left to go, the Texans are seemingly grasping at straws to find something to go their way right now. But all we can do is hope as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs look ever so closer to that illustrious three-peat that has been uttered.
I completely agree with you. By the way, I completely forgot about this for the comments, for the viewers. We have our Player of the Game award to give out, Chase. I completely forgot. How did we
Who could
forget? I
forget?
have it right in front of me. I have the reminder from the sticky note right in front of me. But don't forget, we will be giving out our Player of the Game. I don't even know who to give it out to yet, so you will find out after the 2-minute warning, right
A
before we
lot
go
of
off.
options you'll have to see as Stroud on this first play is just taken down. Karlaftis, who got in home on him on that turnover on downs earlier in the second half, immediately gets to him on the first play. And again, that just showed how the Texans have been just overmatched in this matchup. When push comes to shove, the better team has really dominated, and that's been Kansas City. As on second down, quick little throw, good adjustment there from Schultz. He'll get near the 30, but again, immediately wrapped down. As the Texans try to move quicker, it is already third and long for this Houston matchup.
Yeah, not a great spot to be in. They're going to move fast, so we'll stick it with you here, Chase.
And a little bit of movement on the line on 3rd and 10. So the play is called dead. We'll see what the ruling is. And it will actually be against Kansas City on neutral zone infraction. Mike Dana calling that one, number 51 on the Chiefs. And so moving a little bit forward is the Texans. We will see what they'll do on now 3rd and medium.
I mean, the question will be, is this 4-down territory for Houston? Like, it might have to be. Yeah, completely offsides was the left end there. Good call there by the right end, rather. Good call there by the referees.
3:48 on the clock. Stroud pressure, throws over the middle, able to get it off even while being hit, and connects to Xavier Hutchinson over the middle. And so the Texans not dead yet, still moving down the field. About 3.5 minutes left to go. We will see no huddle by the Texans. Trying to move now past midfield. Stroud covered up, almost taken down, but able to just shove it ahead. That's Dare Ogunbowale. And he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. This clock continues to tick down. 2nd and 10, good job by Stroud just keeping it alive. However, the clock will continue to tick. As Stroud once again running out of time. And pushed forward, but taken down again by the blitz. Shamari Connor getting the job done, and it's again 3rd down almost instantaneously for the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely done now for Stroud. I mean, not a lot he could do. Good coverage there. Because one thing that you like about Kansas City, when they go through with that blitz, they're able to still cover in the secondary so well. Not everyone can do that. You see those blitzes, usually there's a man wide open, but nope. They go deep routes, deep corner routes everywhere, and the Chiefs lock it up completely.
So now on 3rd down, lofted ahead right side and make an adjustment. Did he make that catch? They say yes. Dalton Schultz. Nice little play there to move the chains.
I don't know how he caught that. Not gonna lie. It's a phenomenal
Bobbled to get him
catch.
out in double coverage. We'll see what the call is. Initially 1st down. I believe they are discussing it.
I think this is a catch. Because you have the hand there. Oh, is it? I don't know.
All about when he has full control.
It's very
And that
close.
is a very, very close play. You see him bobble it a good amount. After making that initial catch, slides down near his hip.
Is this a challenge by the Chiefs?
Andy Reid has officially challenged the play. Again, great effort by Schultz and Stroud getting that ball, finding a man to put over his shoulder. It is a very close call here.
Let me take a look at it one more time. Remember, it's like Chase said, when you have full control. And I'll be honest with you, Chase, I don't think he gets it. You see him corral the ball with that left hand, tuck it into his body late. But do they count it? Because if you see that back level, the left foot is still on the ground when he initially gets it, but I don't know if they count that as a step. It's very, very close. I think it's a definition, I think, of a 50-50. I think there's a good chance, though, that this call does indeed get overturned. Remember, the rolling on the field is a catch, so there has to be indisputable evidence. The question is that initial left foot. Let's hear what they say.
And the official ruling is that it stands. So they will call it a 1st down. I think it does come down to what you said, that left foot being down as he was making that full control and letting that right foot go down. But again, like you said, incredibly close as we have play action here. Texans wasting no time. Stroud rolling to his left now just fires downfield, and was it hauled in? They do say yes. Collins made the catch. Chiefs again arguing over another close call as we saw Collins make that catch. Was very close. McDuffie on the coverage there as Stroud quick throw over the middle and Hutchinson making the catch. This one I believe will just tick down to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, what a weird sequence of events there. As we finally do make it to the 2-minute warning.
Stroud gonna get a playoff actually, and he will just be sacked. And boy, I don't know what you're doing there. Not taking it to the 2-minute warning, getting a playoff, and just having a big loss anyway. Clock will stop, however, with 1:57. And it will be
What was that?
Texans deep in territory.
I'll be honest with you, Chase. We've seen a lot of different things today. That by far is one of the weirdest plays of the game. But no, it isn't weird, chat. The Player of the Game award. It is time for the boys. It is time to give out today's Give 'em 5 Media's Showcase Player of the Game. And today is
Let's go.
sponsored by the Robbie Basil Show today because we're rotating between show and other shows. We only have a couple here so far on Give 'em 5, but trust me, I say there will be more to come. And there's so many good options here. I want to give it to the Chiefs defense, but today I will be giving it to I'm going to give it to Taylor Swift's boyfriend. It's Travis Kelce who wins the award today. 7 catches, 117 yards. So many catches, so many yards after the catch. Was able to make so many different times, time and time again. It is Travis Kelce who joins the illustrious list of players who have won the Give 'em 5 Media Player of the Game. Of course, today sponsored by the Robbie Basil Show. You can check that show out every Tuesday here on Give 'em 5 Media uploads at approximately 5 p.m. every Tuesday. I think that's pretty fitting, Chase.
Yeah, I think so. Kelsey over 100 yards receiving, just as we've said time and time again, dominant in the postseason, and was on the receiving end of that insane play by Mahomes, falling down, getting that throw off into the end zone. Kelsey's certainly done a lot to help, but like you said, it really should be an award to go to really both defenses for making it such a gritty bout, and just Kansas City, like we said, the better team, getting it done in the end. But again, congratulations, Travis Kelsey, on the very illustrious Player of the Game award here at Give 'em 5 Media.
Yes, someone had to win it, and today it goes to Travis Kelce. The only thing I have on my desk is we'll do this more towards major golf time. I have this golf bag of pens. What do we? I got this for Christmas. I haven't unwrapped it yet, but it's like
Ah,
golf clubs that turn into pens.
ooh,
So
very nice.
maybe while I wish I was at the golf course, I could be talking to people in class or writing stuff down in my classes, but like we said multiple times, time and time again, coming up after this game, we'll send it over to a little bit of a break, and then Matt Welling in the other stream will be on the other side of this contest. A game that we thought would be more one-sided, Chase, but the Texans have kept this game alive and now have to keep their season alive here on 3rd and long.
Still trying to make things interesting, but not going to happen there. Karlaftis gets home once again, just absolutely as dominant as they come. And it will be 4th down, the most do or die situation a team could be in. I already down 2 scores, but if they want any chance of making this one interesting already in the last 2 minutes, they're going to need to do a lot more than what we just saw on that play.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to, I believe, have a timeout. It's called by the Texans because the clock did stop right away. So they'll have 1 remaining. So the decision now is, do you take the field goal and you go for the onside? I think, I'll be honest with you, Chase, I think that has to happen because it's 4th and too long. I think you have to go for that because
And
you have to trust that you're going to get the first down. But see, that's even more, but it's even worse. That's CJ Stroud hobbling off the field.
You are correct. They will go with a field goal, especially now with that injury you said to Stroud, as Fairbairn's kick is blocked. Again, the Chiefs doing it on special teams. And if that's not icing on the cake to you, I don't know what is, because that will do it. Boy,
The
just
Chiefs.
absolutely dominant and get it done once again is Kansas City.
That's not the first time they've iced a game on a blocked field goal. Justin Reed was one of the guys in there to make the stop, but Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs defense able to shut down that Texans offense in the fourth quarter. That I think we should have given player of the, I don't think we have a coach of the game award. I would have given it to Steve Spagnuolo. But quick shout to Justin Reed, and this is the 54 for the Chiefs. I'm not sure who that
Leo
is. Oh, it's
Chenal.
Leo Chenal, who is going to get credited with the block. It's the left hand, I believe, or both. Yep, left hand of Chenal, who blocks the kick. Has pretty much iced our game here today, Chase, and is going to be the Chiefs back in the AFC title game, hosting that AFC title game against the Buffalo Bills or the Baltimore Ravens, which whoever they face, that game is going to be miraculous.
Absolutely will be one hell of a game, and it is the matchup between those two to see who will get into that conference championship against the Chiefs. That will also be a hell of a game. As of course we've said time and time again, you can see it here on Given 5 Media tomorrow night. You know, my boy Basil will be back at it again, and Jacob Kaplan is returned to doing these broadcasts, and it's going to be a doozy for the two of them with Ravens Bills. As just on top of that, this whole weekend started out with what was a very strong matchup between the Texans and the Chiefs, and just unfortunately, just the Texans get a little overmatched. Just not the right heavyweight class to go up against this Kansas City Chiefs team, and it's shown here in this matchup.
Definitely. And one thing we got to point out is the special teams. 2 Kaimi Fairbairn missed field goals and a blocked extra point. Not the day that he was hoping for. Really, any Texans fan were hoping for out of him is the Texans or someone called timeout. That I think, because also, quick question for you. Why did the Texans only have 11 points?
You
They have
know,
like
I think that might be an error on the scoreboard.
I'm a little confused, but
They've edited it now. 23-12 is what the score, the final score will be. Still time on the clock here. 3rd and 10 into this matchup. But again, as we've said, with what Kansas City has been able to do, not just in this matchup, but in the past couple of years, it's been absolutely dominant. As again, we await these final moments for Kansas City.
is that confetti just going onto the field? Like, what is that? Or is that leaves? What is that, Chase?
I, you know, it's windy, as we've said, over an Arrowhead, and beyond a couple of missed field goals and kicks, seemingly put something onto the field for the moment.
Well, one quick final note. Andy Reid, 4th head coach in NFL history to 300 wins, going up on an illustrious list featuring coaches like Don Shula and Bill Belichick. So he deserves his flowers as well, as I believe he'll run this down and call timeout with about 13 seconds to go.
13 seconds means a lot for a Chiefs fan, more for a Bills fan, I'll be honest. But it'll be the Texans to get the ball. And actually, they put the clock back up to 15. So, don't don't
That
even
was
need to
good.
think
That
about
was
it
good from
anymore.
you. That was really good.
Nevertheless, 4th and 15 for this Chiefs team, or Texans rather, to receive it, as they will have to punt it. Again, awaiting the punt here. It is Matt Ariza. And Ariza be taking it, holding on to the ball, and finally taking it out of the end zone. and it'll be a safety for the Texans. Smart play. We've seen this plenty of time when it comes down to punting at the end of a matchup. See what the Chiefs will now do with 9 seconds, or Texans rather, with 9 seconds to go. And again, like you've said time and time again, just the experience, the great coaching by Andy Reid, and just having the star power, Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes, when it comes to the playoffs, not skipping a beat. And the Texans, who gave it their all, just were not able to stand up to the number one seed in the AFC, who will now be hosting the conference championship.
Yeah, I mean, Chase, first of all, Robbie Basil, Chase Creedy, thank you so much, first of all, from me for joining us. Make sure to hit the like button down below. And it's been a ride for the Texans this season. You know, the ups and downs, and you got to give them their flowers with D'Amico Ryans and trying to build up that team, the AFC South champions, time and time again. But they're gonna have a very interesting offseason. I think that'll be a question brought up over the next couple of days and hopefully the next couple of weeks and couple of months, with a free agency starting in about 6 weeks already. So it actually is confetti, by the way. What came onto the field was confetti, some premature confetti with 9 seconds left. But what's crazy is that the Texans limited Mahomes a lot more than I thought they were going to. Under 200 yards for him, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs defense that really should have won player of the day. But regardless, I believe that they'll be kicking it off with 9 seconds to go. I did not know this is how they do this. I thought it was a punt, but no. They go back to the new kickoff rules, but from the 20-yard line, though. So you're learning on the fly now, I think. It's just the way to put it.
Kick is off by Butker and on a hop to Pierce. He'll collect that one. Clock still ticking down. Be just wrapped up, and with about 7 seconds, Texans offense will come back onto the field. And like you said, I just want to rephrase, the Texans, quite the season. Again, we might have seen some more downs from what we saw from CJ Stroud in the past, but with this AFC South division, I think the Texans are definitely going to run a little bit more, especially in the state of certain teams like the Jaguars and the Titans, and even the Colts with their questionability with a guy like Anthony Richardson. It's going to be interesting in the future for that division and the Texans. Nevertheless, that'll do it. Texans kneel all the way down to the end of the clock. Your final score, the Kansas City Chiefs winning it, making their 7th straight AFC Championship appearance. 23-14, your final. As we wrap it up, Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil for this first divisional round matchup in the NFL. It's quite a doozy. Kansas City getting it done once again.
Yeah, it was a fun one, Chase. The one thing that we talked about was the defenses earlier, and CJ Stroud got sacked 8 times. Feels like it's back at the Deshaun Watson days in the mid 2010s when he was getting sacked time and time and time again. The Texans now know what they need to do in the future. Find a better way to protect Stroud. A big day for guys like Carl Loftus, Leo Chenal. Trent McDuffie was great in the secondary. That defense really put up a show today, and they were able to really help the Chiefs get the victory in this one.
Absolutely. And make sure to stay with Given 5 Media for the rest of the night. We have, of course, the Lions and the Commanders coming up next. And our boy, Matty Welling, part of the Welling Watch Along. Hope you guys will stay along and make sure to be a part of that live stream. But for now, Chase Caridi and Robbie Basil. We'll see you guys around next time. Again, your final Chiefs win 23-14.